Chapter 10:29. Seeing Jun Xiaoyao defeat Qi Hongyu in just a few moves. The other 19 heavenly legends who had broken through the encirclement and obtained the embroidered balls were extremely shocked. After all, Qi Hongyu's strength had already reached the level of the 7 emperors. In the end, he was still defeated by Jun Xiaoyao in just a few moves. Apart from the 6 apocalyptic kings and those monsters of the ultimate monarch race, no one else in the younger generation is a match for the chaotic body, right? Many creatures present were whispering and trying to figure out Jun Xiaoyao's strength. Haha, seeing is believing. Brother Xiaoyao's strength is worthy of the title of God of War. Looks like you're in luck today. Prince Anlan smiled and took the initiative to show his goodwill. He wasn't stupid. There was no need to become enemies with Jun Xiaoyao because of a woman he didn't need. Seeing Prince Anlan show weakness and withdraw, the other elites also withdrew one by one. They didn't have the guts and ability to fight with Jun Xiaoyao for a woman. They watched as Jun Xiaoyao single-handedly overpowered the entire place. Stars appeared in Tushan Wanwan's eyes. She had always admired the strong. Jun Xiaoyao's performance undoubtedly proved that he was the ruler among the younger generation of the foreign lands. Indeed, even Tushan Ye, who had high standards, couldn't find any fault with Jun Xiaoyao, who was impeccable in terms of appearance, status, and strength. It could be said that facing such an outstanding man, not only the Tushan 5 beauties, even Tushan Mingfei's heart wavered slightly. She couldn't help but exclaim that such a peerless figure had appeared in this era. If I were tens of thousands of years younger, Tushan Mingfei didn't dare to think about it. But now, she definitely didn't have the mood to think about it. She wouldn't fight with her 5 daughters for a man. The 5 beauties surrounded Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao felt a headache coming on as he looked at the 5 beauties, who were all of different sizes. He did come here with a purpose, but he didn't come here for the 5 beauties. Sisters, what do you think? Tushan Ye looked at her 4 sisters. I won't. Tushan Chunchun was the first to voice her opinion. Neither will I. Tushan Wanwan sounded certain. I'm interested. Tushan Xiaoxiao blinked. There can't be a better one, can there? Tushan Taotao said weakly. Seeing this, Tushan Ye sighed helplessly. Since we sisters don't want to let go, there's only one way. Tushan Ye's watery eyes suddenly turned to Jun Xiaoyao as she said with a sweet voice, Lord Battle God, can you handle 5? Jun Xiaoyao's expression didn't change when he heard this. He said indifferently, let's not talk about other things for now. Asking a man whether he can do it or not is a dangerous act in itself. Because, Jun Xiaoyao abruptly stepped up and pinched Tushan Yu's chin. It's very easy to be eaten clean. Tushan Ye's face blushed silently. Tushan Xiaoxiao was a little surprised. They had always thought that their eldest sister was cold and domineering with a strong aura. But now, she was completely suppressed by Jun Xiaoyao. She was like a little girl. Lord Xiaoyao is really strong. Tushan Ye shrank back. For the first time, she felt that her aura was completely suppressed. She could only say that this man in front of her was too deep for her to grasp. Haha, it seems that my 5 daughters are fine with it. In that case, then, Tushan Mingfei was about to make the decision. However, at this moment, she seemed to have sensed something and her eyes lit up. This feeling of the blood moving, Tushan Mingfei was a little surprised. Not only her, but all the Tushan foxes at the same time. They felt that their blood was restless and boiling. It seemed that they were welcoming something, but also seemed to be afraid of something. Well, that is, the 5 beauties of Tushan also looked into the distance at the same time. A voice suddenly came from the sky. I don't agree with this marriage. The cold shout exploded in the sky. All living beings in Tusk Mountain were surprised. Who dares to say that? Does he want to die? Could it be that some hot-blooded hothead wants to steal the bride again? Steal the bride? Who has the right to steal the bride in front of the god of war? Almost all the creatures looked at the source of the voice. In the distant sky, dark clouds swept over. Amidst the black clouds, a vague figure emerged and stepped out. Everyone's eyes were fixated on him. They wanted to know who was so daring. However, when the figure appeared, everyone was stunned. It was a kind of surprise that was completely unexpected. Tushan Wanwan, one of the 5 beauties, was even more dumbfounded. She thought that her eyes were hallucinating. Xiaohe? The figure that appeared was Yun Xiaohe, the cart driver who had gone missing. But now, Yun Xiaohe's aura and pressure made Tushan Wanwan feel extremely unfamiliar. It was the pressure of a supremacy. At the same time, there was also an aura that made all the Tushan foxes' bloodline restless. Is this a prodigy of the Tushan foxes? But why is he a black fox? Isn't the black fox the lowest tribe in the Tushan foxes? And his aura is at the supremacy stage. When did such a young prodigy appear in the Tushan foxes? Many of the sky prides present were at a loss. Prince Enlon, Goddess Pu Kue, and the others were also extremely confused. Even they didn't know the inside story. Yun Xiaohe ignored the gazes of the outside world. From the moment he appeared, his gaze had been fixed on Tushan Wanwan. Now, he finally had the confidence to face Tushan Wanwan. Because he was one of the 6 kings of destruction. Wanwan, I finally have the right to be with you. I'm no longer the lowly little black fox from before. Yun Xiaohe couldn't contain his excitement. Although he had awakened extraordinary power, his personality was still the same. Yun Xiaohe, what are you talking about? Why did you run away? What have you experienced during this period of time? Tushan Wanwan was completely dumbfounded. Wanwan, I want to marry you. Other than me, no one else can have you. Yun Xiaohe's eyes burned with flames. That was the desire to monopolize. Tushan Wanwan was the goddess of white moonlight in his heart. Now, he finally had the right to marry his goddess. What nonsense are you talking about? You're just my coachman. Tushan Wanwan frowned. In the past, she had indeed taken in Yun Xiaohe out of pity. It was also a manifestation of her kindness. But she didn't expect Yun Xiaohe to have such expectations for her. It was fine if he had such expectations, but he even said it in public. If Jun Xiaoyao heard this, how would it look? Yes, I'm indeed your coachman, but now my status is different. I have the right to marry you. Yun Xiaohe's eyes were fervent. I don't care who you are, and I can't marry you. Your words will make the young master misunderstand. Tushan Wanwan was also anxious, for fear that Jun Xiaoyao would misunderstand. She turned to Jun Xiaoyao and said anxiously, Young master, he's just my coachman. I hope you don't misunderstand. I only have you in my heart. Tushan Wanwan's words made the excitement on Yun Xiaohe's face immediately stiffen. He turned his extremely cold eyes to Jun Xiaoyao. Chapter 10:30. Yun Xiaohe only had coldness toward Jun Xiaoyao. If it weren't for Jun Xiaoyao, Tushan Wanwan wouldn't have treated him like that. He said that Jun Xiaoyao might have other intentions toward her. Tushan Wanwan even scolded him and didn't believe him at all. It could be said that in Yun Xiaohe's heart, Jun Xiaoyao was the stumbling block between him and Tushan Wanwan. In the past, Yun Xiaohe couldn't compare with Jun Xiaoyao at all. It was impossible to compare the two together. They were like two completely different existences. But now Yun Xiaohe thought that he was qualified to take back Tushan Wanwan. After sensing Yun Xiaohe's cold hostility, Yun Xiaohe's expression changed drastically. Jun Xiaoyao felt that he was unjustly implicated again. But he didn't care, because he was wary of Yun Xiaohe. Now it seemed that the situation was not beyond his expectations. And this is your groom? Jun Xiaoyao didn't pay attention to Yun Xiaohe. Instead, he looked at Tushan Wanwan. Young master, I don't know how he became like this, but he is indeed just a groom. Tushan Wanwan approached Jun Xiaoyao. She was wearing blue armor, and her curvaceous body was pressed against him. Yun Xiaohe's eyes were about to turn red when he saw this scene. The nicest attitude Tushan Wanwan had towards him was when she praised him for raising horses well. Jun Xiaoyao, on the other hand, could easily get all of Tushan Wanwan's attention. Seeing his goddess sticking to someone else, Yun Xiaohe was about to explode. Boom! Behind Yun Xiaohe, endless black devil qi surged. Vaguely, it seemed to form a pitch-black demonic fox with a murderous aura and the power to destroy the world. Behind it, 10 fox tails swayed. That's almost all the Tushan foxes instantly felt a strong pressure from their bloodline. Plop! Tushan foxes kneeled on the ground one after another, trembling in fear. They didn't do it willingly, but their bodies seemed to be out of their control. Their souls were terrified of this kind of pressure. Not to mention ordinary Tushan foxes. Even the 5 Tushan beauties quivered simultaneously, as if they wanted to kneel down and worship him. No. Tushan Wanwan's face was pale. If she really knelt down in front of Yun Xiaohe, what kind of scandal would that be? Seeing this, Jun Xiaoyao waved his sleeves and shielded the 5 princesses. Even the pressure that originated from his bloodline and soul had been completely isolated. Master, sensing that the pressure was completely isolated, Tushan Wanwan was touched. The details would reveal the truth. Jun Xiaoyao was really meticulous. She was also very good at taking care of people. Tushan Wanwan felt a sense of security that she had never felt before. Not only her, but the other 4 princesses also felt the pressure on them disappear completely. Countless pairs of beautiful eyes looked at Jun Xiaoyao, all of them slightly glowing. There were quite a few powerful men in the other side, but most of them were male chauvinistic. There were very few men who were as meticulous as Jun Xiaoyao and knew how to take care of women. Jun Xiaoyao didn't expect that his casual actions would make the 5 princesses feel better about him. As for Tushan Mingfei, she was a divine venerable expert, so she naturally wouldn't lose her composure. However, she also felt a kind of pressure that originated from her bloodline. How is this possible? Bloodline mutation, 10-tailed black fox? Tushan Mingfei was in disbelief. The 10-tailed black fox was a mutant with a bloodline mutation. It was very powerful but also very dangerous. Because it was too uncontrollable and its bloodline was rare, it was extremely rare. Most of the black foxes now were ordinary and lowly foxes. It was impossible for there to be another 10-tailed black fox. How is it, Wanwan? Am I qualified to marry you now? Yun Xiaohe looked at the countless foxes who had submitted to him. He suddenly felt like a superior, no, a fox above a fox. That feeling of being able to make countless creatures tremble in fear with just a glance was too wonderful. If you think that I'll stick to you as long as you have the strength, you're wrong. Tushan Wanwan's eyes showed a hint of disgust. Indeed, she was attracted to Jun Xiaoyao at first because of Jun Xiaoyao's mysteriousness and strength. But after a deep interaction with him, she realized that Jun Xiaoyao attracted her not only because of his strength, his conversation style, personality, and meticulous mind to guide her cultivation. Jun Xiaoyao was perfect, and she was attracted to him in every way. What was the difference between wanting to conquer a woman with strength and force? What I have is not only strength. Yun Xiaohe didn't have the slightest scruple. His abdomen was burning, and a dark hexagram mark was reflected in the sky. That's a hexagram mark. Could it be that he has one too? There was a moment of dead silence. Then there was an earth-shattering uproar. Another king of annihilation had appeared. Everyone was shocked. They didn't expect to witness the appearance of another king of annihilation at this matchmaking convention. This was really a bit surreal. In such a short time, 3 kings of annihilation have appeared. It seems that this 10-tailed black fox is indeed qualified to be on par with the god of war. That's right. As a king of annihilation, he is indeed qualified. Once the identity of a king of annihilation was revealed, the situation was different. Previously, many people were still disdainful and guessing Yun Xiaohe's background. Now there was only respect in the eyes of many creatures. After all, the 6 kings of annihilation were too important to the current foreign territory. They couldn't lose them. The corners of Yun Xiaohei's mouth curled up slightly. The feeling of being admired and respected by tens of thousands of people was too wonderful and made one feel bloated. However, he found that Tushan Wanwan's expression didn't change at all. Why, Wanwan? Is my identity not enough? Yun Xiaohei clenched his fists, and the veins on his forehead bulged slightly. He was already like this. Why was Tushan Wanwan still unaware? You don't know anything at all. I was blind to have picked you up as a coachman. Tushan Wanwan suddenly felt a little dispirited. It was originally a kind action, but in the end it brought her such trouble. Most importantly, it also brought trouble to Jun Xiaoyao. Young master, I'm sorry. It's all because of Wanwan that he targeted you. Tushan Wanwan was really afraid of causing trouble to Jun Xiaoyao. It's okay. No one expected this to happen. Jun Xiaoyao patted Tushan Wanwan's shoulder comfortingly. Tushan Wanwan was moved again. Young master is such a gentle person. Seeing this scene, Yun Xiaohei's eyes almost popped out of their sockets. You said that I didn't know anything, but now I know. It's because of him. As long as he's gone, everything can return to its original position. Yun Xiaohei's eyes locked on Jun Xiaoyao. He could no longer suppress the jealousy in his heart. The cultivation of a supreme being erupted, and a destructive force was brewing. Yun Xiaohei rushed toward Jun Xiaoyao. 10 fox tails spread out from his back and directly turned into 10 pitch-black spears, piercing toward Jun Xiaoyao. As long as you die, everything can return to its original position. This powerful move was enough to tear apart some ordinary supreme beings in an instant. This was the power of the 10-tailed black fox of destruction. However, Jun Xiaoyao's body shook. His 5 fingers clenched into a fist, and a punch split the sky. Bang! The sky seemed to be split into 2 and exploded. There was the sound of vomiting blood. Yun Xiaohei's body was blasted away. His chest was split open, and blood splattered everywhere. In the blink of an eye, he was injured and looked a little embarrassed. You're so noisy. Do you really think you're someone important? Jun Xiaoyao tilted his head slightly. His tone was flat and indifferent, as if he was talking to an ant. Chapter 1031. At this moment, Yun Xiaohei's chest had split open and was dripping with blood. One could even see his wriggling heart and other organs. The heaven-splitting fiend god fist was said to be able to split open the sky with a single punch. If Yun Xiaohei had not been protected by the power of the 10-tailed black fox, he would definitely have been split into 2 by this punch. Even so, Yun Xiaohei was in an extremely sorry state at this moment. The imposing aura that had covered the entire place had disappeared without a trace. This contrast caused the group of people to be speechless, not knowing what to say. They felt as if they had pretended to be a pig to eat a tiger, but in the end they had really become a pig. How can this be? I have clearly awakened the power of the 10-tailed black fox. Yun Xiaohei himself was in a daze. It was as if 100,000 lightning bolts had struck his brain at the same time. We are both one of the 6 kings of destruction. Why am I weaker than you? Yun Xiaohei even suspected that he was a fake king of destruction. Could it be that he was a counterfeit? No, impossible. Yun Xiaohei would never admit that he was a counterfeit. When a person with a lowly status became a person above others, he would become a person above others. He would never allow himself to fall down again. I could have endured the darkness if I had never seen the sun. Yun Xiaohei had already seen the sun, so he could no longer endure the darkness from before. Surging power surged in Yun Xiaohei's body. The huge wound on his chest began to heal at a speed visible to the naked eye. I was just careless. Yun Xiaohei took out a treasure. It was a pitch-black wheel. It expanded rapidly in the wind and was incomparably huge. It was as if a black curtain of the sky was crushing down. As the wheel spun, it easily crushed the void. It was as if the entire world was going to be crushed into powder in front of this wheel. What a terrifying aura! What weapon is that? Everyone present felt as tiny as ants in front of the roulette. The one controlling the wheel was only Yun Xiaohe, who was at the supreme stage. If it were any other supreme expert, they would definitely have the power to destroy the world. Oh, as expected. Jun Xiaoyao was not too surprised. On the contrary, it was within his expectations. The 6 Armageddon Kings each had their own Armageddon Forbidden Artifact. This Armageddon Forbidden Artifact seemed to have its own secret. Yun Xiaohe's world-destroying Forbidden Artifact must be this roulette. 10 Tails Heaven Annihilation Plate. Yun Xiaohe activated his exclusive Forbidden Artifact. Wisps of dark light spread out from the 10-tailed sky destruction disk. Each wisp of dark light tore the sky apart. Wherever it swept past, everything was disintegrated and annihilated, returning to the initial state of particles. If this forbidden artifact was in the hands of an immortal king, it could easily destroy a vast starfield. Die! Yun Xiaohe activated almost all of her strength, and the 10 fox tails behind her were dazzling. As the 10 tails Heaven Annihilation Disk rotated, it emitted a dark light of annihilation as it charged towards Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao did not take out the god's weeping halberd. He didn't even take out the everlasting sword embryo, because facing a coachman was not enough for him to use a weapon. In Jun Xiaoyao's body, the cells were like worlds. They collided and burst out with earth-shattering sounds. The power of 520 Sumer worlds was added to the fist. In addition, the laws of the physical body and the godfiend great strength divine ability were added. Jun Xiaoyao's fist was almost synonymous with power itself. Even before he punched out, the surrounding space was unable to withstand the terrifying power and directly collapsed without a sound. The fist struck out. Sky split. The vast sky for 100,000 miles seemed to have been shattered by the hand of an ancient god. All kinds of shattered space fragments flew in all directions. Seeing this, Tushan Mingfei hurriedly formed hand seals and activated the array under Tushan Mountain to resist the wave. Boom! A dull sound as if planets collided erupted. The 10-tailed sky destruction disk was directly sent flying by Jun Xiaoyao's punch and crashed into Yun Xiaohe. Pucci! Yun Xiaohe's body, which had just recovered, was severely injured again. Half of his body was smashed, and flesh and blood splattered. This almost took away half of Yun Xiaohe's life. Yun Xiaohe found it hard to accept. He said in disbelief, "Why? I'm also a king of destruction. Why is this still the result?" He had even used the forbidden weapon of destruction. Why was he still not Jun Xiaoyao's match? Jun Xiaoyao's expression did not change. He said indifferently, "Although we are both kings of destruction, my ability is enough to kill you thousands of times. So, don't jump in front of me." Jun Xiaoyao's words were understated. But it was no different from a heavy hammer that ruthlessly smashed into Yun Xiaohe's heart, causing his Dao heart to collapse. And it was a crushing defeat in front of his goddess. The humiliation of being praised high and mighty, and then smashed down was simply unbearable for Yun Xiaohe. Rather than that, he might as well not have this power in the first place, so as to avoid embarrassment. Young master is indeed invincible. Seeing that even the 10-tailed black fox of destruction was defeated by Jun Xiaoyao in a few moves, Tushan Wanwan's beautiful eyes were even brighter. As for Yun Xiaohe, who was severely injured and in a terrible state, it was too horrible to look at. Tushan Wanwan did not look at him again. If it was before, Tushan Wanwan would still take care of him for the sake of her coachman. But Yun Xiaohe's smug face made Tushan Wanwan completely disgusted. She wondered how she had picked up such a twisted bastard. Seeing that Tushan Wanwan did not even look at him, Yun Xiaohe's heart felt like it was being torn apart. It was heart-wrenching. Now, he and Tushan Wanwan had really become passers-by. Tushan Wanwan even viewed him with hostility and disgust. Yun Xiaohei's eyes were filled with deep resentment. Seeing Yun Xiaohei's piercing gaze, Jun Xiaoyao's eyes were also cold. Unless he wanted to raise leeks, he always cut the weeds and dig up the root. Jun Xiaoyao directly reached out his hand and tried to kill Yun Xiaohei. Seeing this scene, Tushan Mingfei opened her red lips and wanted to say something, but in the end, she did not say anything. Her mind was full of thoughts. No matter what, Yun Xiaohei was a member of the Tushan fox family and had awakened the 10-tailed black fox of destruction bloodline. He was very valuable to Tushan. The best result was that Jun Xiaoyao and Yun Xiaohei both became Tushan's son-in-law. But now, Tushan Mingfei also knew that it was impossible. None of her 5 daughters looked at Yun Xiaohei directly. Even if it were her, if she had to choose between the two, she would choose Jun Xiaoyao without hesitation. It was definitely not because he was handsome. In all aspects, Yun Xiaohei was like a nouveau riche. Coupled with his unstable mentality, who knew what kind of trouble he would cause in the future. Therefore, Tushan Mingfei sighed and wisely chose not to interfere. And at this moment, a cold snort was heard. Stop! The legendary 6 apocalyptic kings are actually killing each other. What a scandal! A few elders appeared, their auras powerful. They were all heavenly venerables and mystique venerables. Hey, that's the elder of the infernal imperial family. And the big shot of the Majia family. That's the elder of the Jiming family. Everyone was surprised. These were all powerhouses of the immortal imperial family, and now they all appeared. It seemed that they were here to support Yun Xiaohei. And they all had one thing in common. They were all forces that had a grudge against Jun Xiaoyao. Chapter 1032. Looking at these immortal emperor clans, Jun Xiaoyao was a little surprised. He looked at Yun Xiaohei and said, "That's right. I've indeed underestimated you." Yun Xiaohei activated the power of the black fox of destruction in his body to recover from his injuries. He sneered and didn't say anything. Everyone probably thought that he was a hothead. Only Yun Xiaohei knew. He naturally wouldn't come alone to snatch the bride. Instead, he had made full preparations before this. He secretly used his identity as a world destroyer king to communicate with those immortal emperor clans who had a grudge against Jun Xiaoyao. Thus, he reached an agreement with them. These immortal emperor clans were naturally willing to build a good relationship with a world destroyer king. They might even be able to rope him in. Moreover, they all had a common enemy, Jun Xiaoyao. You only know that you're underestimating me now? Yun Xiaohei sneered. I originally thought that you were a complete idiot, but now it seems that you're just a little retarded, Jun Xiaoyao said indifferently. What? Yun Xiaohei was so angry that his heart almost split open. Was this a compliment or a curse? Hearing this, the 5 beauties of Tushan couldn't help but cover their mouths and giggle. Sir, you don't speak much, but you're vicious. Could it be that you're from the Zuan clan? Tushan Chunchun couldn't help but laugh. The Zuan clan was also an immortal emperor clan of a foreign lineage. This clan was extremely strange. The living beings in this clan didn't have mothers. They reproduced asexually. Not only that, but they also hated any other matriarchal living beings. They often asked about the mothers of other clans. They were determined to turn all living beings in the world into orphans. Moreover, the Zuan clan's innate bloodline ability was the law of words. As the name implied, they could kill people with just their mouth. His clan's divine ability was incomparably powerful. It was unknown how many experts' mothers had been sprayed to death by this great divine ability. Therefore, this clan was also known as the Zuan Horse Hunters. Because Jun Xiaoyao's words were a little vicious, the 5 beauties of Tushan couldn't help but think of the Zuan clan. Of course, this was a joke. They knew that Jun Xiaoyao couldn't possibly be Zhu An's subordinate. If that was the case, Tushan Mingfei would have been in danger long ago. Jun Xiaoyao looked at Yun Xiaohei and asked, "Do you know why I said that?" "That's because you're stupid." You think that just because you've found a few backers you're confident. If I want to kill you, no one can stop me. How dare you? The elders from both the Infernal Imperial clan and the Magia Imperial clan shouted coldly. They had already shown up, yet Jun Xiaoyao still did not put them in his eyes. Let's give it a try then. Jun Xiaoyao was just about to make his move when he sensed something all of a sudden and stopped in his tracks. Since you're already here, why don't you show yourself? Jun Xiaoyao's sudden words puzzled many people. What are you trying to do? Yun Xiaohe looked at him coldly. The atmosphere was silent. Amidst this quiet atmosphere, a voice rang out. A coquettish voice rang out. Haha, First King, are you so familiar with news scent that you can smell it right away? This voice was so seductive that it made one's heart go numb. The rift in the distance cracked open as a glamorous figure that was hiding within it revealed herself. In just a breath's time, that beautiful figure rushed to Jun Xiaoyao's side like a ghost. Her delicate body was very close to Jun Xiaoyao. Only then did Jun Xiaoyao see the appearance of the woman in front of him clearly. She was a woman with a face as beautiful as a flower and as beautiful as the moon. In terms of looks, she was definitely not inferior to the Tushan Five Beauties. Lu Yu's eyebrows were curved, and her skin was snow-white and supple. Every frown and smile exuded a moving charm. Her large eyes were watery and seductive. Her eyelashes were long, her nose was straight, and her lips were bright red. She was very sexy. Her figure was also very perfect. Her undulating curves were very tempting. Jun Xiaoyao's gaze unconsciously fell on this woman's chest. This caused the woman to say coquettishly, "First King, where are you looking at?" "Haha, interesting," Jun Xiaoyao said. On the woman's snow-white chest, there was a black six-pointed star imprint very clearly engraved on it. The six-pointed star marks of the other King of Destruction were either on their wrists or their abdomens. This woman's mark was imprinted on her chest, and it even moved up and down slightly. Naturally, the identity of this woman was as clear as day. She was also one of the six kings. However, the way she addressed Jun Xiaoyao made Jun Xiaoyao a little curious. First King, First King. It seems that this woman should know more information, Jun Xiaoyao thought to himself. You are also one of the six King of Destruction. After sensing this woman's aura, Yun Xiaohe could not help but say. His words caused the world to boil again. What? Another King of Destruction has appeared. In this case, we have witnessed the gathering of three kings today. Including Lord God of War's follower, Su Hongyi, there will be four. As expected, the doomsday myth is about to become reality. Countless living beings were shocked beyond belief. They did not expect to witness the gathering of three King of Destruction today. This was definitely a historical moment. You are from the Iza clan? Prince Anlan frowned slightly, as if he had thought of something, and said. Previously, he had discussed this with Goddess Pu Kuei. After Jun Xiaoyao killed the God-Eater Emperor's son. The God-Eater clan wanted to seek justice, but they were stopped by another clan. That clan was the Iza clan. The Iza clan? Jun Xiaoyao looked at the woman who was sticking close to him, seemingly quite dependent on him. He was surprised. He had also heard of the Iza clan. It was rumored that they were related to the Avacania lands. The one who created this clan was the mother goddess of the netherworld, Izanami. It could be said that they were extremely mysterious. This slave's name is Kagura. I've finally seen the First King's palace. The woman named Kagura had a sweet voice, and her smile was as beautiful as a flower. Do we know each other? Jun Xiaoyao raised his eyebrows. Although we're now reincarnated, Your Highness has saved Nunu more than once in the previous reincarnation cycle. Kagura leaned against Jun Xiaoyao and spoke in a flirtatious tone. I see. Jun Xiaoyao understood. The Armageddon Six Kings should be from the first king to the sixth king. And the bloodline of the first god of war should be the first king. The former ruler of that bloodline had saved the former ruler of Kagura's bloodline. Thus, due to fate, They had been entangled until now. Even after Kagura woke up, she still had a favorable impression of him, as well as a sense of dependence. Then he is. Jun Xiaoyao looked at Yun Xiaohei. That's the 5th king's bloodline. Your follower, Su Hongyi, is from the 6th king's bloodline, said Kagura. What about you? Your Highness, you're really forgetful. Nunu is from the 4th king's bloodline. Jun Xiaoyao came to a realization. He finally understood everything. The first god of war was from the 1st king's bloodline. The mother goddess of the Iza clan was from the 4th king's bloodline. The 10-tailed black fox of destruction was from the 5th king's bloodline. Mahakala was from the 6th king's bloodline. Looking at it this way, the Armageddon 6 kings all represented the inheritance of an invincible warrior. The more Jun Xiaoyao thought about it, the more he felt that the Armageddon 6 kings should have secret. And this Kagura should know a lot. Chapter 1033. Now, with Kagura's appearance, the situation became even more treacherous. 3 World Destroyer Kings appeared at the same time. This was definitely a rare sight in the previous epoch, although they hadn't fully matured yet. If they didn't die, it was almost certain that they would become immortal kings in the future. Seeing how close Kagura was to Jun Xiaoyao, Yun Xiaohei had nowhere to vent his jealousy. Why were all the girls so nice to Jun Xiaoyao? Why were they so proactive? Was he not as handsome as Jun Xiaoyao? That seemed to be the case. F***ck. Yun Xiaohei couldn't even convince himself. Compared to Jun Xiaoyao, he was indeed trash. Whether it was in terms of looks, strength, or personality, there was almost no comparison. First King's Palace, I think you shouldn't attack the 5th king for now, Kagura said as she leaned against Jun Xiaoyao. This scene made Tushan Wanwan, Tushan Chunchun, and the others' eyes sparkle. If it weren't for the fact that Kagura was from the Iza clan and a World Destroyer king, they probably wouldn't have been able to resist pulling her away. Today was their matchmaking convention, all right? Oh, you're here to plead for him? Jun Xiaoyao's tone became colder. Kagura shook her head. Of course I'm not here for him. His position in my heart can't even compare to a single hair on First King's Palace's head. This made Yun Xiaohei vomit blood again. Damn it, if you want to suck up to me, then suck up to me. Why drag me down with you? You're getting stabbed even though you're lying down. Yun Xiaohei's heart was being stabbed. Then what do you mean? The 6th king still has his own mission, so it's best not to have any infighting. Of course, if First King's Palace really doesn't like it, you can also attack. I'm naturally on First King's Palace's side, Kagura said. Jun Xiaoyao's guess was correct. This girl knew some inside information. What mission? Jun Xiaoyao asked. This. Kagura looked all around her. All right then. Jun Xiaoyao lightly nodded. He knew that with so many people around, it would be difficult for Kagura to say anything. Since you said so, I'll give you some face and spare his life. How about that? To Jun Xiaoyao, Yun Xiaohei was an existence that could be easily killed. Whether it was earlier or later, Jun Xiaoyao didn't care at all. Moreover, he was also very interested in the mission of the 6 kings. Perhaps he could pry some secret information out of Kagura. The first prince's palace is still so considerate. Kagura was obviously delighted. Because Jun Xiaoyao had given her face. Yun Xiaohei had the urge to vomit blood again. With the protection of the infernal imperial clan's elders, he did not believe that Jun Xiaoyao would be able to do anything to him. In the end, Jun Xiaoyao took advantage of the situation. Not only did he have a way out, but he also casually flirted with Kagura. It could only be said that when it came to playing mind games with Jun Xiaoyao, Yun Xiaohei was simply the younger brother of the younger brother. He could be said to be the younger brother of the younger brother. Why aren't you scramming? Jun Xiaoyao glanced at Yun Xiaohei. Yun Xiaohei glanced at Tushan Wanwan. In the end, Tushan Wanwan didn't pay him any attention at all. Unwillingness and jealousy brewed in Yun Xiaohei's heart. A wise man knows better than to fight when the odds are against him. With your talent, you're destined to become a king in the future. Don't be rash, the infernal Imperial clan's elders advised through voice transmission. To be honest, they were shocked by Yun Xiaohei's performance. They thought that he was a chess piece that could rival Jun Xiaoyao. In the end, it was useless. In front of Jun Xiaoyao, he was still trash. This involuntarily caused the elders of the Emperor clans to look down on Yun Xiaohei. However, Yun Xiaohei was the Terminator King after all, so they couldn't say anything. No matter how unwilling Yun Xiaohei was, he could only swallow his grievances. It was even to the extent that he didn't even dare to speak harshly before leaving dejectedly, and his back seemed to be in a sorry state. He came in high spirit. He left with a gloomy face. He thought that he was the destined one who stole the bride and won the beauty's heart. Who would have thought that when he looked back, he was the clown? After Yun Xiaohei left, the situation finally settled down. Qi Hongyu was a little absent-minded. It was as if he was still living in a dream. Jun Xiaoyao ignored him. It was fine as long as he got the Book of Souls. Hey woman, shouldn't you keep your distance? Tushan Chunchun couldn't stand it anymore and yelled at Kagura. Oh my, are you jealous, little girl? Kagura smiled seductively. She was both sexy and charming. She had a charming temperament that moved one's heart. She was on par with the 5 beauties of the Tushan Mountains. This is the matchmaking convention we organized. Sir is the one we chose. Tushan Chunchun pursed her lips and felt a little wronged. Who was the main character of the matchmaking convention? All right, the dust must have settled now. I believe no one wants to challenge young Master Xiaoyao anymore, right? Tushan Mingfei said. Everyone fell silent. Who would dare to challenge Jun Xiaoyao? Wouldn't that be asking for trouble? Haha, congratulations, brother. Prince Enlan was very tactful. He smiled and cupped his hands. Congratulations, brother, Goddess Pu Kuei also said. Congratulations, Lord War God. Voices sounded from all directions. If it were anyone else who wanted to monopolize the 5 beauties of the Tushan Mountains, they would definitely be angered and targeted by countless people. But since it was Jun Xiaoyao, no one felt unconvinced. Instead, they thought it was reasonable. Some of the women even thought. The 5 beauties of the Tushan Mountains and Jun Xiaoyao were considered to be of a higher social class. Such an immortal might not even appear in an entire epoch. It was only in this era of great strife that it would appear. I wonder what betrothal gifts Lord War God will give? All of a sudden, someone in the crowd exclaimed. Then, everyone fell silent. Jun Xiaoyao wanted to attend the ceremony. Why would he bring betrothal gifts? It's okay, we don't want them. We're already honored that young master doesn't dislike us, Tushan Wanwan hurriedly said. That's right. Tushan Chunchun nodded like a chick pecking rice. Qi Hongyu's face was completely twisted. Not only did they work hard to pass the 3 stages, but they also offered betrothal gift. It was impossible to take back those betrothal gifts. However, now that it was Jun Xiaoyao, they didn't even want the betrothal gift. They could even pay for it. This was also in line with the saying. If a woman really loved a man, she wouldn't stare at the betrothal gifts. Those women who only wanted a sky-high betrothal gift actually didn't care about the man at all. They only wanted to sell themselves at a good price. The 5 beauties of the Tushan Mountains were willing to pay for Jun Xiaoyao. As for other men, they couldn't be bothered to look at them even if they offered a sky-high betrothal gift. This world, Qi Hongyu's Dao heart completely collapsed. His mentality was unstable. He initially thought he was here to redeem himself, but he ended up being humiliated even more. He even lost the soul book. It was a complete failure. That's not a good idea. After all, we're already here. We should still give the betrothal gifts, Jun Xiaoyao said. He didn't mention the betrothal gift. Jun Xiaoyao waved his sleeves. 5 drops of chaos blood essence landed on the 5 beauties. Chaos blood essence. The 5 beauties shuddered at the same time. It was definitely a rare artifact. Anyone would be envious of it. If they refined it, They might not be able to obtain the chaos flesh, but they would at least receive great benefits. It was more precious than any betrothal gift. Not only the 5 beauties of the Tushan Mountains, but the others were also amazed by Jun Xiaoyao's generosity. Jun Xiaoyao smiled faintly. There were many good things in his inner universe. The celestial tree, the immortal source ancestral vein, the foreign dragon vein, the spring of life, and the chi of creation. There was even the world tree. Even a leaf from it was enough to shock the world. However, Jun Xiaoyao obviously wouldn't take out those good things. There was no need for him to do so. At this moment, Tushan Mingfei also hesitated. Then, she stammered, I wonder if Xiaoyao can give me a drop of chaos blood essence too? Senior Mingfei, you want my blood essence too? Jun Xiaoyao asked. Chapter 1034. Tushan Mingfei blushed. She, who was as mature as a peach, also felt embarrassed at this moment. She was not young and was already a mother, but she still acted like a little girl. However, the chaos essence blood was indeed very important to her. Because Tushan Mingfei had been stuck in the creation divine master realm for a long time. The next step was to break through to the chaos Tao master realm. If she could get the chaos essence blood, it would obviously be of great help to her breakthrough to the chaos Tao master realm. And the chaos body was so rare that there might not be one in an era, let alone the chaos essence blood. Now Jun Xiaoyao was in front of her, and Tushan Mingfei naturally did not want to miss this opportunity. Hearing this, everyone had a strange look in their eyes. It sounded like there was nothing wrong with this, but they still felt that something was wrong. Okay. Jun Xiaoyao nodded slightly. If he could use this to win over Tushan, it would not be a loss. Even if he could not win her over, at least he could build a good relationship with her. After all, Jun Xiaoyao did not lack essence blood. He forced a few drops of chaos essence blood from his heart again, and shot it to Tushan Mingfei. Tushan Mingfei took it, and there was a touch of joy on her charming face. Thank you, Xiaoyao. Then, it should be time for the wedding banquet. Jun Xiaoyao was speechless for a moment. He was just here to be a bystander and harvest leak. But it seemed that unknowingly, he had become the main character. Moreover, he really did not plan to marry a fox. And there were 5 of them at once. Sir. Tushan Chuanchuan's voice was soft, and she opened her big watery eyes and said coquettishly. Young master. Tushan Wanwan also felt uneasy. If Jun Xiaoyao were to turn them down in public, things would be awkward for them. Tushan Yeye, Tushan Taotao, and Tushan Xiaoxiao also stared at Jun Xiaoyao with their starry eyes. Jun Xiaoyao also felt that if he rejected them in public, it would be embarrassing for them. Then, everyone would be embarrassed. But it was impossible for him to solve the important matter of his life now. And it was impossible for him to do it with the 5 of them. Especially for Tushan Yeye and the others, it was their first time meeting. No matter how much of a scumbag Jun Xiaoyao was, he wouldn't be so casual. The biggest reason why they are looking for a groom is because of the immortal sutra that they cultivate. Let's see if there are any other methods when the time comes. Jun Xiaoyao revealed an awkward but polite smile. At this moment, Kagura suddenly blew at Jun Xiaoyao. Her breath smelled like orchids and she said, First Prince, since you're looking for a groom, why don't you marry Noa as well? Nu doesn't mind how many women you have. Anyway, it's not a big deal for an outstanding man to have a few women. Kagura was quite open-minded about this. Jun Xiaoyao was completely speechless. For the first time, he realized how troublesome it was to be popular with girls. All right, there's no time like the present. Why don't we get married right away? Tushan Mingfei clapped her hands and said, Great! Tushan Chunchun beamed. I can. Tushan Wanwan blushed. I don't mind either, Tushan Xiaoxiao said. I'm so nervous. Tushan Taotao looked down and twisted her fingers. Then let me try. Tushan Yeye revealed a seductive smile. The 5 beauties had no objections. On the other hand, Jun Xiaoyao felt a headache coming on. However, they were in public right now, so he could only muddle through for now. He'd have to improvise when the time came. Soon, the matchmaking convention turned into a marriage convention. Tushan was decorated with lanterns and streamers, and the atmosphere was joyous. All the beings who came to participate in the matchmaking convention became guests. As for Chi Hongyu, he left alone, and his back looked very lonely. It wasn't hard to imagine that this matter had dealt him a huge blow, and he wouldn't be able to recover from it for a long time. He would be immersed in Jun Xiaoyao's shadow. However, no one paid attention to the losers anymore. The 5 princesses of Tushan Mountain had all changed into bright red wedding dresses, wearing phoenix crowns and robes. Their lips were dyed red, and they put on a little makeup, but they were already extremely beautiful. The 5 brides appeared at the same time, and they were the most beautiful. Heaven and earth had become their background. Apart from Kagura, there weren't many women present who could compare to them. Even Goddess Pu Kue wasn't as beautiful as her. "That's 5 times the happiness," a prodigy said enviously. "If you were as powerful as Lord War God, you could be 10 times or even 100 times happier," someone joked. I can't compare. But can Lord War God take it? Are you looking down on the primordial chaos body? The atmosphere was quite harmonious. Jun Xiaoyao was wearing a white robe, and he didn't change into a red robe. To him, this was merely a perfunctory act to avoid embarrassing the Tushan imperial family. His real wedding banquet could only be held when he was willing to do so, and when he got married, it would probably be a grand wedding ceremony on the level of an epic. Of course, that would have to wait until he became a great emperor. Otherwise, how could he protect his woman if he didn't have the strength? Although Jun Xiaoyao had the backing of the Jun family, the Jiang family, and other top-tier forces, he didn't have to worry about his safety. However, Jun Xiaoyao still wanted to protect the woman he loved with his own strength, rather than relying on the power of his family. In this regard, Jun Xiaoyao was still a bit of a male chauvinist. A man should protect his woman. While Jun Xiaoyao was deep in thought, the wedding banquet had already begun. Perhaps because they saw through Jun Xiaoyao's intentions, Tushan didn't have any red tape. There was also no ceremony of husband and wife bowing to each other. A hint of disappointment flashed through the eyes of Tushan Wanwan and the other women. However, when they thought about how Jun Xiaoyao was taking care of their feelings, they liked Jun Xiaoyao even more. The wedding banquet lasted for 3 days. After 3 days, all the guests left. It was not hard to imagine just how envious Jun Xiaoyao would be when the news got out. Jun Xiaoyao had a headache. He didn't know how Luo Xiangling would feel when he heard the news. Next, it was time to enter the bridal chamber. Before entering the bridal chamber, Jun Xiaoyao called Kagura over. "Don't leave yet. I'll ask you something later," Jun Xiaoyao said. "Of course. Unless your highness chases me away, I won't be willing to leave," Kagura said softly. Jun Xiaoyao nodded. After that, when it was time to enter the bridal chamber, Jun Xiaoyao felt like he was going to the battlefield. No, or maybe the two were the same. Because entering the bridal chamber and going to the battlefield were both necessary. Jun Xiaoyao sighed. He was still a virgin. Then, Jun Xiaoyao was led to the back of Tushan Palace by 2 pretty maids. There was a continuous stretch of palaces, and it was also the residence of some noble foxes. Seeing Jun Xiaoyao being led away, Tushan Mingfei breathed a sigh of relief. Her daughter's life event was finally resolved. But for some reason, there was a faint melancholy in her heart. "When I was born, you weren't born. When you were born, I was already old." Tushan Mingfei sighed. If Jun Xiaoyao was born in her era, perhaps she would have fallen head over heels for him. On the other side, Jun Xiaoyao soon arrived at a luxurious palace. The door was pushed open and Jun Xiaoyao entered alone. Inside, red candles flickered and gauze curtains hung down. In the middle of the room, there was a large round red bed. Not to mention 5 people, even 50 people could sleep on it. There was no problem for many people to exercise. Beside the bed, 5 beautiful women with phoenix crowns and robes were sitting dignified. Even Tushan Chunchun, who had the most eccentric personality, was a little nervous. Her lively personality was gone. Seeing Jun Xiaoyao's arrival, the women had different thoughts. At this moment, the system's mechanical voice sounded in Jun Xiaoyao's mind. Ding, congratulations to the host, you have arrived at the check-in location. Do you want to sign in? Sign in. Jun Xiaoyao said in his heart. Ding, congratulations to the host, you have received an 8-star reward, a man's gift pack. A man's gift pack, what's that? Jun Xiaoyao was confused. This was the first time he had received a gift pack reward. And it was an 8-star gift pack. Chapter 1035. This was the first time Jun Xiaoyao had received such a gift bag as a check-in reward. Let's open it and see what treasures are inside. Jun Xiaoyao thought to himself. Ding! Congratulations to host for obtaining the Mystic Yang treasured pestle. Jun Xiaoyao's expression was a little strange when he heard this. This pestle, is it serious? Jun Xiaoyao complained in his heart. However, the items in the gift bag were not finished. Ding! Congratulations to host for obtaining the indestructible kidney. Jun Xiaoyao didn't know what to say. At the beginning of his cultivation, when he was cultivating the 5 great divine treasures, his kidney divine treasure was stronger than the other divine treasures. It could be said that it was abnormally strong. Now with the addition of the indestructible kidney, it was almost like a perpetual motion machine. Ding! Congratulations to host for obtaining the Su Lady Immortal Sutra. This reward made Jun Xiaoyao's mind focus. No wonder it was an 8-star reward. It turned out that there was an Immortal Sutra in it. Any Immortal Sutra was priceless. The 3 Lives Immortal Sutra, which Jun Xiaoyao used to train his primordial spirit, was also something he obtained through check-ins. However, was this Su Lady Immortal Sutra a proper Immortal Sutra? Jun Xiaoyao stood on the spot. He could feel an indescribable power being added to every part of his body. Mystic Yang treasured pestle, as the name implied, understood everything. There was no need to explain anything. This was definitely something that all men dreamed of. To Jun Xiaoyao, however, that was nothing more than icing on the cake. Because he was already strong enough. Interestingly, this Mystic Yang treasured pestle could also bring about Mystic Yang essence. For women, this was a nourishing sacred item, more precious than any immortal pill. It was enough to make any woman go crazy. As for the indestructible kidney, there was no need to mention it. Even his grandfather, Jun Zhantian, was envious of Jun Xiaoyao's kidney. Now it was just icing on the cake. As for the Su Lady Immortal Sutra, Jun Xiaoyao roughly glanced at it. It was indeed as he expected. It was an Immortal Sutra that taught dual cultivation method. Jun Xiaoyao was interested in this. There would be a time when he could use it in the future. However, this gave Jun Xiaoyao some inspiration. If he could figure out some methods from the Plain Lady Immortal Scripture, would he be able to help the Tushan Fox family improve their love dream Immortal Scripture? After all, there were similarities between the two. Both of them required a man and a woman to cultivate together. In addition, Jun Xiaoyao possessed the Battle God catalog. It wasn't completely impossible for him to analyze and dismantle the Immortal Sutra. His talent was monstrous enough. Young master, are you daydreaming? Tushan Wanwan asked tentatively. What do you mean by dazed? You must be dazed by our beauty. Tushan Yeye giggled. The 5 sisters were all dressed up and each one was as beautiful as a flower. Perhaps there wasn't a single man who wouldn't be dazed upon seeing them. However, they had really misunderstood Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao had seen countless beauties and was already immune to them. After coming back to his senses, Jun Xiaoyao smiled faintly. Because he already had a solution to the problem in his heart, he was completely relaxed. However, the system gave him a man gift pack at this time. It was really warm and considerate. Unfortunately, Jun Xiaoyao was destined to not use it now. Sir, what are you waiting for? Tushan Chuanchuan's face was filled with shyness, no longer as lively and playful as before. Seeing Tushan Chunchun, Jun Xiaoyao really felt a little embarrassed. The other 4 girls were one thing. Tushan Chunchun, this white-haired lowly, really gave people a feeling of committing a crime. Although in this world, no one would drag him to jail. But there was still a barrier in his heart. Seeing that Jun Xiaoyao didn't step forward, Tushan Ye suddenly revealed an ambiguous smile and said, "What, could it be that the famous war god is still a virgin?" Although the 5 sisters were all virgins, but they didn't think that Jun Xiaoyao was also a virgin. Such an outstanding man, not to mention women liking him. Even if he had a harem of 3,000 beauties, they wouldn't be surprised at all. Of course I am. Jun Xiaoyao was very honest. There was nothing to hide. Really? Tushan Xiaoxiao's beautiful eyes widened. Even Tushan Wanwan was very surprised. After all, Jun Xiaoyao really didn't lack women by his side. Fei Qingxue, Luo Xiangling, and even Su Hongyi, who he picked up, were all delicate and charming. Tushan Wanwan also thought that Jun Xiaoyao had a woman before. Although there was a knot in her heart, she didn't mind. Because the fox race's thinking was still not the same as the human race's. Hee, how interesting. How about let me help you? Although it's my first time, I've read a lot of picture books. Sheep on the Tree, Mystic Cicada, White Tiger, Wild Horse Leap, I know a little. Tushan Ye licked her red lips and said seductively. Are you testing my temperament? Jun Xiaoyao was still calm. Although he was inexperienced, his mentality was already experienced. Then, young master, can you take it? Tushan Ye unconsciously puffed out her chest. In terms of figure, Tushan Ye was worthy of being the eldest sister of the 5 sisters. Perhaps only her mother, Tushan Mingfei, could compare to her. Jun Xiaoyao said lightly, Eldest princess, you are indeed big. Hearing Jun Xiaoyao's slightly teasing tone, Tushan Ye blushed, but she still smiled charmingly. It seems that young master is not a saint who can't sit still. You are also a lecherous pervert. Jun Xiaoyao smiled and said, Everyone has the heart to love beauty. A fair lady is a good match for a gentleman. Isn't it a pity that a delicate flower is not appreciated by others? Jun Xiaoyao was frank. He had never boasted of being a saint, a gentleman, or Lu Xiaohui. But appreciation was one thing. Jun Xiaoyao wouldn't casually push a girl down. After all, in addition to using his kidney, he also needed to use his heart. Jun Xiaoyao could indeed charm countless girls, but he didn't want to become a human cannon. Sir, do you dislike Chunchun for being small? Tushan Chunchun stuck to him. Young master, come. Tushan Wanwan did the same. Jun Xiaoyao was pressed onto the bed by the 5 beauties. He didn't expect that he would be the one pushed down. The 5 beauties of Tushan were like 5 juicers. Young master, don't worry. Although it's our first time, we will serve you with all our hearts. Tushan Ye pressed her hand on Jun Xiaoyao's chest. Being surrounded by 5 foxes, if it was any other man, his bones would definitely melt and he wouldn't think about anything else. Everyone, wait. Jun Xiaoyao pushed the 5 beauties away with a gentle force. Young master. As expected, you don't like us. Tushan Wanwan was very disappointed. Young master, just scold me a little. Don't shut me out, Tushan Taotao, who was the most timid and had the weakest aura, said. I know that the main reason you are looking for a husband is because the immortal sutra of love and dream that you cultivate needs to be with a man entwined with the red string of marriage. If I can improve your sutra, you won't have to rely too much on men in the future. You can cultivate on your own, Jun Xiaoyao said. His words stunned the 5 beauties on the spot. Chapter 1036. Modify the Immortal Sutra of Loving Love? The 5 beauties looked at each other. Then, Tushan Ye burst into laughter. Sir, don't make fun of us. How can an ordinary person modify something like an immortal sutra? Tushan Xiaoxiao added. Yes, sir, it's not that we don't believe you, but it's a bit unbelievable. The Immortal Sutra was a top cultivation method. Even among the imperishable forces, it was a treasure that couldn't be taught to outsiders. It was very difficult for ordinary prodigies to study it. Even they, who had cultivated the Immortal Sutra of Loving Love for a long time, only understood 30% of it. Now, Jun Xiaoyao said he wanted to modify the Immortal Sutra of Loving Love. To put it nicely, it was unbelievable. To put it bluntly, it was daydreaming. What, you don't believe me? Or do I want to cheat you of your Immortal Sutra? Jun Xiaoyao raised an eyebrow. Of course not. Sir, you're very powerful and have mastered all kinds of cultivation method. Why would you want our Immortal Sutra? Tushan Wanwan hurriedly said. Among the 5 sisters, she was the one who interacted with Jun Xiaoyao the most. When Jun Xiaoyao gave her pointers, he would occasionally perform techniques and spells that dazzled even her eyes. Jun Xiaoyao's foundation was much deeper than theirs. Why would he care about an Immortal Sutra? If you don't mind, can you let me have a look? I won't teach it to outsiders. If it's still not enough, I can give you an Immortal Sutra in exchange. Jun Xiaoyao's words made the 5 beauties speechless again. Something as rare as an Immortal Sutra could be easily taken out for an exchange. We believe you, sir, but… Tushan Chunchun wanted to say something, but stopped. Her face was as red as an apple. You! Jun Xiaoyao was speechless. Tushan Ye's beautiful eyes flashed. Sir, do you really not know, or are you pretending not to know? What do you mean? Jun Xiaoyao was confused. The Immortal Sutra of Loving Love cultivated by the Tushan Fox clan is inscribed on the body. If young master wants to read the immortal scripture, doesn't that mean you want to see our bodies? Jun Xiaoyao was slightly surprised by Tushan Ye's words. He knew that some immortal sutras would be engraved in the flesh, bones, and blood vessels. However, this was the first time he had encountered one. Young master, if you want to see our bodies, just say it. Why do you have to be so secretive? We're already yours anyway. Tushan Xiaoxiao rolled her eyes at Jun Xiaoyao, looking extremely charming. I'm not. Don't talk nonsense. Jun Xiaoyao immediately denied it 3 times in a row. It doesn't matter if it's real or fake. Since you're already on the bed, let's just leave it at that. As the eldest sister, Tushan Ye was the most open one. However, this openness was only limited to the only man she approved of. Tushan Ye took off her red dress. Her skin was as tender as cream, as smooth as cream, and as white as snow. Under the illumination of the candlelight, her skin seemed to glow. Her figure was even better. One word, absolute. It's really easy to give birth. Jun Xiaoyao looked at Tushan Ye's plump figure and thought to himself. With Tushan Ye taking the lead, the other 4 women naturally took off their clothes with blushing faces. Jun Xiaoyao's expression was calm and he didn't avoid it. He admired it as he should. Tushan Ye was plump. Tushan Ye was pink and tender. Tushan Xiaoxiao was fair. Tushan Wanwan was well-proportioned. Tushan Ye was pure and small. Each had their own beauty. It had to be said that this scene was a test of a man's willpower. 5 golden flowers, looking as if they were ready to be plucked. As long as Jun Xiaoyao was willing, 5 times the happiness would be at his fingertips. However, Jun Xiaoyao was calm. He knew what to do and what not to do. Being stared at like that by Jun Xiaoyao, even Tushan Ye, who was the most casual of them all, blushed. Let's begin, Jun Xiaoyao said. The 5 beauties calmed down and activated the Immortal Sutra of Passion at the same time. Suddenly, countless mysterious runes appeared on their snow-white bodies. They weren't human characters, but demon runes. However, Jun Xiaoyao was smart and talented. He was familiar with the languages of thousands of races in the Jun family's library since he was young. So there were no obstacles. This part, Jun Xiaoyao approached Tushan Ye and carefully stared at the runes on a certain part of her body. Young master, you, even Tushan Yaya secretly bit her red lips. This was too shameful. Then, Jun Xiaoyao looked at the immortal sutras on Tushan Taotao, Tushan Xiaoxiao, and the others and compared them with each other. Lift it up, Jun Xiaoyao suddenly said to Tushan Chunchun. Huh? Tushan Chuanchuan's head was full of question marks. Then, she was so embarrassed that her face turned red like an apple. It wasn't that Jun Xiaoyao was deliberately teasing her. At this moment, he was immersed in comprehending the immortal sutra of passion. Through the war god catalogue, he was deconstructing this immortal sutra. This was an absolutely impossible task for ordinary people. But Jun Xiaoyao wanted to complete it in the shortest time possible. One could imagine how difficult it was. This was also why the 5 beauties of Tushan thought that Jun Xiaoyao was joking. Now, Tushan Yaya and the others were even more certain that Jun Xiaoyao was teasing them. Could it be foreplay? Tushan Yaya thought. Some humans liked to do such fancy things. They would never go straight to the home plate. In the blink of an eye, 10 days had passed. In the outside world, Tushan Mingfei looked at the palace that was still closed, and a strange expression appeared on her face. It's been 10 days. Is he still not out? However, on second thought, if they came one by one, it would indeed take time. Ah, it's so good to be young. Tushan Mingfei sighed. Outside Tushan, there were also many foreign creatures waiting to watch the show. Oh my God, it's been 10 days. Why hasn't he come out at all? If it were you, would you be willing to come out after only 10 days? That's true. If I die under a peony, I'll still be a romantic ghost. But to be honest, the chaos body is indeed strong. After all, Tushan foxes are famous for their strong desires. Many people were whispering to each other, wanting to see when Jun Xiaoyao would come out of his tender home. Meanwhile, in one of the pavilions, there was a flawlessly beautiful woman who had been waiting there all this while. It was none other than Kagura of the Iza clan. It's already been 10 days. First King's Palace, don't leave me with nothing. What will I do then? Kagura rolled her eyes and sighed in self-pity. Just as the outside world was filled with curiosity, Jun Xiaoyao had finally deconstructed the Passion Dream Immortal Sutra. Even if he couldn't completely comprehend it, he had at least grasped most of it. That's enough. Please don't disturb me for the time being. Next, Jun Xiaoyao had to pass the Battle God Catalogue and display his monstrous talent. He combined and improved the Passion Dream Immortal Scripture and the Plain Lady Immortal Scripture. From there, he would change the cultivation shackles of the Passion Dream Immortal Scripture. Seeing Jun Xiaoyao's confident look, the 5 women all looked at him. They all had strange expressions. Young master, are you sure this isn't foreplay? Tushan Yaya asked. What foreplay? Jun Xiaoyao was confused. Jun Xiaoyao then sat down alone with his legs crossed. You're really going to improve the immortal scripture without us 5 delicate beauties? Tushan Yaya didn't know what to say. As long as young master is willing, I will support you, Tushan Wanwan said. But I really don't like you because of the Passion Dream Immortal Scripture. Tushan Chunchun pursed her cherry lips. At first, perhaps she did have a good impression of Jun Xiaoyao because of the red string of marriage, but after spending some time together, she was really impressed by Jun Xiaoyao's personal charm. Even if she didn't cultivate the Passion Dream Immortal Scripture, she would still like him. Let's see what young master can do first. If it doesn't work, you'll still be eaten by us sisters. Tushan Yaya licked her sexy red lip. Chapter 1037. To be honest, let's not talk about whether Jun Xiaoyao lusted after their bodies. But they were indeed lusting after Jun Xiaoyao's body. At least Tushan Yaya was very thirsty. After all, she had the chaotic physique, and was still a virgin. If she could dual cultivate with Jun Xiaoyao, the benefits would be endless. Not to mention that the Love Dream Immortal Sutra would make huge progress. All of her attributes would improve. As one of the top 5 physiques among the 3,000 and even second place, How could the chaotic physique be ordinary? However, since Jun Xiaoyao didn't have the intention, they couldn't force him. The main reason was that they didn't have the ability to force Jun Xiaoyao. In the following time, Jun Xiaoyao continued to deduce the two immortal sutras. Even a quasi-emperor would have to spend a lot of time on this. Therefore, Tushan Yeye and the other girls didn't think that Jun Xiaoyao could complete it in such a short time. In the blink of an eye, 3 months passed. In the outside world, even Tushan Mingfei was speechless. This time was too long. Are young people nowadays so energetic? Tushan Mingfei was a little curious. However, she was curious, and she naturally couldn't pry. She also ordered that no one was to disturb him. In the outside world, the noise was even louder. Oh my God, 5 beauties, 3 months, the god of war is really powerful in all aspects, a male genius said enviously. There were also women who were extremely envious. They were naturally envious of the Tushan 5 beauties. If the god of war can favor me, even if I can only experience it once, I will have no regrets in this life. Many women were looking forward to it. Jun Xiaoyao suddenly became the husband of everyone. In the bedroom, it was different from the imagination of the outside world. Jun Xiaoyao had been sitting cross-legged for 3 months. The 5 beauties didn't leave, but observed Jun Xiaoyao. From time to time, they would play with each other, which was quite pleasing to the eye. Finally, Jun Xiaoyao opened his eyes. Even with his monstrous talent, there was a hint of fatigue on his face at this moment. This kind of thing consumed a lot of mental power. If Jun Xiaoyao wasn't a primordial spirit of 3 lives, he might not be able to withstand it. Young master. Seeing Jun Xiaoyao open his eyes, the 5 beauties approached him. Next, I'll teach you a spell. Try it out first, Jun Xiaoyao said. As he pointed his finger forward, 5 streaks of light entered the snow-white foreheads of the 5 beauties. Instantly, in the minds of the 5 beauties, all kinds of mysterious scriptures were shining brightly. They were like the stars in the sky, shining brightly. This is, the 5 beauties shuddered at the same time. Even Tushan Yeye, who didn't believe in Jun Xiaoyao at first, took a deep breath. Her chest rose and fell like waves. How could that be? Tushan Yeye lost her composure. Although this scripture had the feeling of the love dream immortal scripture, it was completely different. Most importantly, there was no need to bind all hope to the person who pulled the red string of marriage like before. In fact, he didn't even need to truly like the other party to be able to borrow the other party's various bloodline powers to cultivate. The modified Passion Dream Immortal Sutra had become even more domineering and convenient. Most importantly, there were no more shackles. For the Tushan Fox clan, the biggest shackle of the Passion Dream Immortal Sutra was that it was difficult to find the destined person. Jun Xiaoyao's modified version of the Passion Dream Immortal Sutra completely fixed this flaw. Although it looked like it had become a demonic scripture, they were demons. However, they were demons to begin with, so there was no need for them to demand so much. How is that possible? It's only been 3 months. Tushan Xiaoxiao was also very surprised. If mother knows, she'll be very surprised too. Tushan Wanwan's chest rose and fell. She couldn't calm down. After a preliminary examination, they found that this immortal sutra wasn't fake. They could completely cultivate it. 5 pairs of dazzling eyes were fixed on Jun Xiaoyao, shining as brightly as the stars. Jun Xiaoyao had completely exceeded their expectations. Jun Xiaoyao smiled. He didn't only combine the Passion Dream Immortal Sutra with the Plain Lady Immortal Sutra. He also incorporated a part of the essence of the life sacrificial oration. He even incorporated some characteristics of the Tao Heart Demonic Seed Mantra. It could be said that if Jun Xiaoyao didn't have a strong foundation and many cultivation techniques, he wouldn't have been able to cultivate it. No matter how talented he was, he wouldn't have been able to study this modified version of the Passion Dream Immortal Sutra. In fact, Jun Xiaoyao could also do some tricks in this Immortal Sutra. After the Tushan Fox clan cultivated it, he could easily control their lives. However, Jun Xiaoyao didn't do that. First of all, Tushan Wanwan and the others were good to him. Jun Xiaoyao wouldn't dig a hole for people who were good to him. Second of all, there were immortal kings in Tushan. Although Jun Xiaoyao could secretly do something, if he was discovered, Jun Xiaoyao would be completely cut off from Tushan. They might even become enemies. Jun Xiaoyao was thinking about how to pull Tushan to his side and even join the emperor's court. Therefore, to be safe, Jun Xiaoyao didn't do anything. After that, the 5 beauties tried to cultivate for a while. They were pleasantly surprised to find that this was indeed a feasible path. It would have a huge impact on the entire Tushan. Sir, you are really Tushan's lucky star. Tushan Chunchun gave Jun Xiaoyao a big hug. The other 4 beauties also approached Jun Xiaoyao. All right, since the problem of your cultivation techniques has been solved, you won't be restrained by the red string of marriage in the future. You can cultivate without worry, Jun Xiaoyao said. The land of warmth, the tomb of heroes. There was no way Jun Xiaoyao was going to indulge himself in the bedchamber. He still had a lot of things to do in the foreign realm. Sir, actually, I didn't choose you because of the Passion Dream Immortal Sutra. Tushan Wanwan's expression was sad. Chunchun too. Tushan Chunchun put on an obedient and pitiful look. Tsk, sir, your attitude really hurts us 5 sisters. Tushan Yeye also sighed. You are all good girls. It's just that I have an obsession in my heart that I can't let go of for now. Jun Xiaoyao sighed. He wouldn't persuade the 5 beauties to find other men. But now, he couldn't stay here. Who is it that can make a peerless figure like you so obsessed? I really want to meet him, Tushan Yeye said. Jun Xiaoyao smiled and didn't say anything. He did have people in the immortal realm that he cared about. But what he cared about the most now was the whereabouts of his father, Jun Wuhui. All right, we won't force you, Tushan Yeye said. The main thing was that they couldn't force him. Jun Xiaoyao was too strong. They couldn't push him down at all. Jun Xiaoyao smiled and got up to leave the bedroom. Looking at Jun Xiaoyao's back, Tushan Taotao revealed a trace of pity. Big sis, are we really going to give up just like that? Sisters, what do you all say? Tushan Yeye looked towards the 4 girls. In this life, apart from the young master, there is no one else. Tushan Wanwan said firmly. Me too. Tushan Chunchun said in a cute and naive manner. In the past, I indeed met a man as outstanding as him. That person was called Jun Xiaoyao. Unfortunately, he's gone. Now, there probably isn't a man more outstanding than him. Tushan Xiaoxiao said. I'm the same as everyone else. Tushan Taotao said. Alright, since us 5 sisters have the same goal, then we'll use both hard and soft tactic. We can't let this little fresh meat go. Let's see who can outlast who. Tushan Yeye licked her lips. The 5 sisters wouldn't have any other men in this life. They were definitely going to eat Jun Xiaoyao. Chapter 1038. After 3 months, Jun Xiaoyao finally came out of the palace. The 3 months of dark and tiring days were finally over. Jun Xiaoyao also breathed a sigh of relief. He finally solved the problem of the 5 foxes. But what he didn't know was that the 5 foxes had already defeated him. Swoosh! A fragrant wind blew in front of Jun Xiaoyao, and a plump and beautiful woman appeared in front of him. It was Tushan Mingfei. Son-in-law, how do you feel? Tushan Mingfei was very curious. Even she was a little impatient after waiting for 3 months. Tired. Jun Xiaoyao simply uttered a single word. How could he not be tired after 3 months of studying and improving the Immortal Sutra of Love and Dream? It's been hard on you, son-in-law. After all, the workload is really heavy. Thinking of her 5 ferocious daughters, even Tushan Mingfei showed an apologetic look on her face. Look at what they've done to him. That's true. After all, I've been working day and night without a moment of rest, Jun Xiaoyao said with a sigh. How can this be? Don't you even have time to rest? Tushan Mingfei's red lips opened slightly, and she was a little stunned. His 5 daughters had gone too far. They didn't even give him a moment of rest. I can't rest. If I rest, all my previous efforts will be wasted, Jun Xiaoyao said in a serious tone. If the improvement of the Immortal Sutra was interrupted or even interrupted, it would obviously be more difficult to continue. All my previous efforts will be wasted? You mean? Tushan Mingfei was confused. Fortunately, I didn't disappoint you. There's already a result. Jun Xiaoyao smiled. In 3 months, the improvement of the Immortal Sutra of Love and Dream was completed. What? There's a result so soon? It's only been 3 months? Tushan Mingfei was stunned. Was pregnancy so fast? Of course. The 5 of them will come out soon, and we can tell you, Jun Xiaoyao said with a smile. The 5 beauties of Tushan had all cultivated the improved version of the Immortal Sutra, so there was no problem. I need some time alone. Tushan Mingfei covered her forehead with her hand, feeling a little unreal. Am I going to be a grandmother so soon? Her son-in-law's marksmanship was too accurate. Not long after, Tushan Yeye and the other 4 girls all walked out of the palace. Tushan Mingfei rushed up and stared at her 5 daughters. Her eyes were filled with concern and blame. You guys, seriously, can't you let me have a good rest? There are only cows that die of exhaustion, and no fields that are ruined by plowing. Also, are you really pregnant? Hearing Tushan Mingfei's words, the 5 beauties were all stunned. Then, he slowly typed a question mark. Grandson? Am I going to have a grandson? Tushan Mingfei asked eagerly. This was her grandson who possessed the bloodline of the primal chaos physique. It would be strange if she wasn't worried. At this moment, the 5 beauties suddenly understood, and their cheeks became as red as fire. Mother, what are you talking about? The 5 beauties were speechless. Then, he explained. Tushan Mingfei paused. She blushed as well. He felt that he had made a big mistake and completely misunderstood the situation. She and Jun Xiaoyao were chatting across servers. In the past 3 months, Jun Xiaoyao didn't push down the 5 beauties at all. He only pushed them slightly when he was visualizing the Immortal Sutra of Love and Dream. He pushed them, but he didn't push them down completely. Then, Jun Xiaoyao also gave the improved version of the Immortal Sutra of Love and Dream to Tushan Mingfei. Tushan Mingfei was astonished. How is it possible? How can it change like this? Tushan Mingfei was completely shocked. Was this something that a supreme being could do? Her son-in-law was really an immortal. With this improved version of the Immortal Sutra of Love and Dream, I believe that in the future, Tushan will be able to break free from the shackles of the cultivation method and be completely free. Jun Xiaoyao smiled. This is a serious matter. I need to report it to the king. Tushan Mingfei's expression was solemn. She took out a jade slip and started to send a message. The look in Jun Xiaoyao's eyes dimmed when he heard that. The king that Tushan Mingfei mentioned should be the immortal king of Tushan. Jun Xiaoyao also had foresight and didn't tamper with the Immortal Sutra. Otherwise, the result would be unpredictable. The immortal king didn't always stay in the ancestral land. Most of the time, he stayed in some paradise. Even his clansmen wouldn't easily disturb him under normal circumstances. But this matter was too serious. Tushan Mingfei had to report it. Not too long later. Suddenly, a red line fell from the void and wrapped around Jun Xiaoyao's wrist. Seeing this scene, Tushan Mingfei and the 5 beauties were shocked. They couldn't help but say, "That's," at this moment, a charming and cold female voice rang in Jun Xiaoyao's ears. "Young friend, I, Tushan, owe you a favor for this. In the future, if you encounter any trouble, pull this red line. I am willing to help you unconditionally once." "Greetings, Your Majesty." Tushan Mingfei and the 5 beauties all knelt when they heard this voice. This was the voice of the immortal king of Tushan, the 9-tailed king, Consort Dafei. Consort Dafei was of the supreme 9-tailed holy fox bloodline and also the pillar of Tushan. Previously, even when the 10-tailed black fox of destruction appeared, Consort Dafei didn't react at all. But now, she was shocked by Jun Xiaoyao's improved version of the Immortal Sutra and even promised a favor. This was definitely a supreme honor for outsiders who weren't of the Fox clan. Thank you, Senior Nine-Tailed King. Jun Xiaoyao cupped his hands slightly toward the void. 3 months of hard work in exchange for the kindness of the Immortal King and the condition of helping once. It was definitely a great deal. To Jun Xiaoyao, this was a profitable business with minimal capital. But thinking about it, Jun Xiaoyao's improved version of the Immortal Sutra had a great impact on Tushan. It didn't make Tushan abandon the Immortal Sutra of Love and Dream, but it also helped them break their shackles. It was normal for Jun Xiaoyao to receive such treatment. Young Master is indeed Young Master. He can do earth-shattering things wherever he goes. The 5 beauties' eyes became even brighter. They now regretted letting Jun Xiaoyao leave the palace. The red line on Jun Xiaoyao's wrist temporarily disappeared. Jun Xiaoyao had a feeling that this red line would be of great help to him in the future. The matter in Tushan had come to an end. Ladies, I have something to do later and have to return to the Ares Academy. See you later. Jun Xiaoyao cupped his hands slightly toward the 5 beauties. Gentle and elegant, modest gentlemen. Chun-Chun, Wan-Wan, and the others were reluctant to part with Jun Xiaoyao, but they couldn't force him to stay here. We will also return to the Ares Academy later, Tushan Wan-Wan said. We will also look for you then, Tushan Ye said with a smile. They wouldn't give up on pursuing Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao left Tushan. As soon as he appeared, the outside world was in an uproar. He's finally out. It's been 3 months. It's not just 1, but 5. How difficult is it to feed them? Awesome. He's our role model. We are going to build a temple for the Ares Academy. Every day before sex we will worship him first. Looking at the uproar, Jun Xiaoyao was slightly stunned. He didn't expect there to be so many onlookers, but they had obviously misunderstood. When Jun Xiaoyao was serious, it was normal for him to stay here for 3 years. First King's Palace, I've waited for you for so long. A soft and charming voice that sounded like the cry of an oriole rang out. A fragrant wind blew, and the enchanting Kagura snuggled up to Jun Xiaoyao. Looking at Jun Xiaoyao, who had just come out of a tender home and was now being entangled by a beauty. All the onlookers only had one word in their hearts. F***ck. Jun Xiaoyao raised his eyebrows slightly, and his expression was indifferent. He still had a lot of questions to ask Kagura. He wanted to uncover the secret of the 6 kings of destruction. Chapter 1039. Kagura was truly beautiful. She was so beautiful that she could cause the downfall of a city. Her eyes were watery, her eyelashes were long, her nose was straight, and her lips were bright red. Her skin was as soft and smooth as white jade, and it glowed. Her figure was curvy and graceful, and her legs were straight and slender, without a single flaw. In particular, her ample bosom, which was imprinted with a black hexagram, was especially alluring. Her appearance and figure weren't inferior to the Tushan 5 beauties at all. In fact, she had a unique temperament. All the onlookers around were jealous, and their eyes were red with envy. However, even though they were jealous, they couldn't help but admire Jun Xiaoyao when they thought of his monstrous talent and peerless appearance. There are too many people here. Let's go somewhere else, Jun Xiaoyao said. Are you going for a one-on-one date? The first King's Palace is such a womanizer. Kagura blinked, and her eyes sparkled. She was extremely charming. Jun Xiaoyao chuckled and didn't say anything. The two of them instantly tore through the void and disappeared. The great barbarian continent, on top of a mountain peak shrouded in clouds. Jun Xiaoyao and Kagura's figures appeared. Jun Xiaoyao raised his hand and grabbed. The sand and stones on the ground rolled and gathered, instantly forming an exquisite stone pavilion. Kagura was slightly surprised to see this scene. Although this didn't seem like a major technique, it was still very subtle. However, it was enough to show from the minute details that Jun Xiaoyao's use of laws had reached a level of perfection. Changing the world with a single thought was a technique that only top-level powerhouses could use. Kagura naturally didn't know that Jun Xiaoyao had already created an inner universe. This kind of method was just a small matter. Sit. Jun Xiaoyao's tone was very appropriate. You sit first and then I'll sit, Kagura said coquettishly. Jun Xiaoyao didn't stand on ceremony and sat down directly. However, in the next instant, Kagura twisted her waist and sat directly on Jun Xiaoyao's lap. A pair of jade-like arms wrapped around Jun Xiaoyao's neck as she exhaled. First King's Palace, do you still have any food left? What? Jun Xiaoyao asked. What do you think? Kagura's eyes were wet and had an ambiguous light. If I said that I didn't touch the 5 beauties at all, would you believe me? Jun Xiaoyao was calm and composed. If anyone else was teased by Kagura in such a way, they would probably raise their guns in salute. But for Jun Xiaoyao himself, people who couldn't even control their own desires wouldn't be able to achieve anything great. His current goal was to investigate the secrets behind the 6 Annihilation Kings, and nothing else. Nothing happened for 3 whole months? Kagura also felt that this was rather inconceivable. Naturally, she did not think that Jun Xiaoyao was incapable. If the chaotic body was not capable, then no man in the world could be considered capable. This was a wonderful misunderstanding to begin with, Jun Xiaoyao said. Of course I believe you. After all, First King's Palace is no ordinary man. Kagura nodded slightly. For true heroes, women were always just decorations. I came to find you because I wanted to ask you something about the 6 Annihilation Kings, Jun Xiaoyao said. First King's Palace, your memories. Kagura's eyes revealed faint confusion. When I woke up, I didn't awaken too many memories, Jun Xiaoyao said casually. I see. First King's Palace, feel free to ask. I'll tell you everything I know. Kagura smiled. Kagura could understand. After all, when she first woke up, she had also lost many memories. However, the Iza clan behind her had told her some secret. Are we, the 6 Annihilation Kings, really the kings of destruction personally appointed by the heavens? Or is there an even deeper secret behind us? Jun Xiaoyao had been wondering about this for a long time. The 6 Annihilation Kings were the kings of destruction who brought endless calamities to the immortal region. Were they really the kings of destruction personally appointed by the heavens? Or was there a hidden mastermind or schemer behind them? Kagura's expression became more serious when she heard this. First King's Palace, although everyone in our world believes that we, the 6 Annihilation Kings, are the kings of destruction personally appointed by the heavens to destroy the immortal region. But in reality, rather than saying that we were appointed by the heavens, it would be more accurate to say that we received orders from an ultimate existence. It was it who personally appointed the 6 Annihilation Kings. Kagura's tone was quite serious, especially when she mentioned it. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes flashed. The ultimate calamity. When Kagura said this word, thunder instantly rumbled in the sky with a deafening roar. It was as if this was an existence that even the heavens feared. Kagura's face was slightly pale, and there was an unprecedented reverence in her eyes. This reverence was as if she was looking at a god. The ultimate calamity? Jun Xiaoyao furrowed his eyebrows. Just from the name alone, it was obvious that this was nothing good. What is this, a person or? Jun Xiaoyao continued to ask. However, Kagura shook her head and said, Niwa doesn't know what it is either. It's an indescribable existence that originates from the unspeakable lands. Perhaps some of the old-timers of the ultimate imperial clans in the Avacania lands might know a thing or two. Jun Xiaoyao was mulling over Kagura's words. Indeed, the foreign side's true mysterious place was precisely unspeakable lands. This was the most mysterious place outside of the foreign side's 10 great provinces. Meanwhile, in the other side, the true peak existences, those ancient and powerful ultimate emperor clans, their ancestral grounds were precisely in unspeakable lands. This was also the reason why Jun Xiaoyao had to go to the unspeakable lands to investigate. At this moment, a mechanical voice sounded in Jun Xiaoyao's mind. Ding! Congratulations, host. The new check-in location has been refreshed. Please check in at the Avacania realm. Jun Xiaoyao was not surprised. The Avacania lands were of the utmost importance. He was very curious about what kind of treasures he could sign in for in the Avacania land. It must not be simple. So, you mean that the one who truly appointed us is not the so-called mandate of heaven, but the ultimate calamity? Jun Xiaoyao asked. Yes and no. Kagura kept him in suspense. Because to us, the ultimate calamity is no different from the will of heaven. Secondly, rather than saying that it was appointed, it would be better to say that the 6 kings of the first generation were all followers of the ultimate calamity's will. Kagura's answer surprised Jun Xiaoyao once again. In the legends of the foreign side, the 6 kings of destruction that could destroy the celestial realm were actually just followers of the ultimate calamity's will? What kind of existence was the ultimate calamity? How powerful was it? The 6 kings of destruction that had fully matured were unimaginably powerful. They were simply boss-level existences. And what kind of heaven-defying taboo existence was the ultimate calamity that could create the 6 kings of destruction? Could it be an ultimate boss that was even more terrifying than the big boss? Also, Jun Xiaoyao had always been curious about the origin of the foreign side. After all, the celestial realm resisted the foreign side largely to prevent the invasion of the dark matter. Was there a connection between the dark matter and the ultimate calamity? What was the relationship? Jun Xiaoyao was clearly here to solve the mystery. But the doubts in his heart increased. Chapter 1040. She seemed to have seen the confusion on Jun Xiaoyao's face. Kagura grinned and said, Your Highness, you don't have to worry about this kind of thing. The ultimate calamity is an existence that no one can imagine, an indescribable existence. No one knows whether it's a human or some other creature. It might even be a phenomenon or something that might happen. Kagura's words made Jun Xiaoyao fall into deep thought. It wasn't impossible. The word calamity could also refer to a calamity and not a specific living being. For example, the dark turmoil that was once engraved in ancient history. But if it was just a phenomenon, why did it have its own will and could even appoint the 6 world destruction kings? The ultimate calamity, being able to appoint the 6 world destruction kings, means that it has at least one kind of thinking that belongs to a creature. It is impossible for a phenomenon to have the thoughts and wisdom of a living being. Jun Xiaoyao had thought things through carefully. He was originally smart and had great wisdom, so he naturally thought about things comprehensively. That's true, but no one can say for sure. Unless it's one of those ultimate emperor clans, a calamity-level undying that has lived for countless years, perhaps they can tell you the answer. Kagura sighed. Calamity-level undying. Jun Xiaoyao fell silent. That kind of existence was even more terrifying than an undying king, known as a calamity. In the past, when the border was broken and a gap was opened, calamity-level undying figures appeared. How could that kind of existence answer Jun Xiaoyao's question? Besides, even if there was a chance, Jun Xiaoyao would have to think twice. After all, in front of that kind of existence, Jun Xiaoyao couldn't guarantee that he wouldn't be exposed. The source, the great calamity of the era, the ultimate calamity, the dark turmoil, the existence buried in burial realm, the secret of realm C. Jun Xiaoyao faintly felt that these terrifying existences that were even more mysterious and strange than the 7 unfathomable seemed to have some kind of secret connection. He thought of his father, Jun Wuhui. 1 Qi into 3 pure ones, overseeing the alien realm, burial realm, and realm C. Could it be that in the depths of eternal burial realm, and the legendary endless sea, There was an unimaginable existence like the ultimate calamity of the alien realm? Jun Xiaoyao felt that his father should know some secret. Perhaps he was plotting something. It was not without reason that Jun Wuhui had chosen these 3 special locations. The more Jun Xiaoyao thought about it, the more he felt that he was still far from the truth of this world. The waters were too deep, and there was no way to grasp it. Even Jun Xiaoyao felt a headache coming on. He also began to admire his own family. To be able to pass down the legacy to this day despite so many hidden threats. The Jun family's background was obvious, and the water was also very deep. However, right now, he was in the other side, so he couldn't borrow the Jun family's power. All of the secrets could only be explored by himself. First Seat King, you don't have to think too much about it. You just need to know that the 6 of us are reincarnated. The ultimate calamity granted us the power of the 6 kings of reincarnation. Even if we die or something happens to us in the future, someone will awaken and inherit the same fate. The only way to break it is to complete the heavenly mandate of destroying the immortal realms. At that time, the reincarnation cycle of the 6 kings will end. Kagura's tone was gloomy. No, perhaps there is another way. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes flashed slightly. Oh! Kagura was curious. That is, let the ultimate calamity completely, before he could say the word disappear. Kagura covered Jun Xiaoyao's mouth with her jade hand. First Seat King, don't speak nonsense. The consequences may be unimaginable. Kagura's face was pale, and her heart was still beating with fear. Jun Xiaoyao didn't say anything else. In this world, there were indeed taboo existences with great power. Just by reciting their names, they would be able to sense it and cause strange phenomena. However, Jun Xiaoyao believed that with his fateless constitution, the ultimate calamity. Even if the ultimate calamity could sense him, it would be difficult to trace his karma. Even the most powerful existence couldn't do that. If he wasn't so heaven-defying, how could a fateless one be ranked first among the 3,000 constitutions? Alright, let's not talk about this for now. Besides, I have some questions about the ultimate calamity, Jun Xiaoyao said. Let's talk about the main topic. This is also why I didn't let you deal with the 5th king, Kagura said. I'd like to hear more. Jun Xiaoyao's spirits were lifted. To tell the truth, if Kagura hadn't stopped him, he really would have slapped Yun Xiaohei to death. After all, flies were also annoying. Each of the 6 kings has a ultimate calamity. They are not only our personal weapons, but also the key to opening the door to the depths of the Avacania lands. Jun Xiaoyao wasn't too surprised to hear this. He had previously guessed that the ultimate calamity contained some secret. He didn't expect his guess to be correct. 6 ultimate calamity forbidden artifacts were 6 keys. Only by gathering all 6 keys could one open the door to the depths of the Avacania lands. Kagura waved her jade hand, and a slender katana appeared in her hand. It was 5 feet long and emitted a cold, dark aura. This is Kagura's ultimate calamity forbidden artifact, demonic sword Heaven's Weep. The 6 ultimate calamity forbidden artifacts can only be used as keys by their masters, Kagura explained. Jun Xiaoyao nodded slightly and looked at the demonic sword in Kagura's hand. God's Weep Halberd, demonic sword Heaven's Weep, Mahakala Mirror, and 10-tailed Heaven Annihilation Plate. 4 of the 6 ultimate calamity forbidden artifacts had already appeared. What can we get by opening the door to the Avacania lands? Jun Xiaoyao asked. I'm not sure. It might be an inheritance that belongs to us 6 kings, or it might be some other opportunity. It might even be possible to see the ultimate calamity. No one can say for sure. Kagura's words made Jun Xiaoyao's eyes light up. Fortunately, he didn't kill Yun Xiaohei. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to explore the depths of the Avacania lands. Kagura feels that the 6 kings will really gather in this great era. At that time, we can go to the Avacania lands and obtain the opportunities inside. After we grow up and destroy the celestial realm, we can enjoy eternal glory. Kagura's eyes revealed a look of longing. At that time, the celestial realm would be destroyed, and the destiny that belonged to the 6 kings would also be over. They would be completely free from the destiny and wouldn't have to reincarnate again and again. She could also be with the first king that she admired forever. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes were deep, but he didn't say anything. It was impossible for the celestial realm to be destroyed. As long as he was here, it was impossible. It wasn't that Jun Xiaoyao was merciful and wanted to be a hero. It was because the Jun family, the Jiang family, the Emperor Imperial Court, and those he cared about were all in the celestial realm. Without the celestial realm, they would lose their foothold. Besides, in addition to him, Su Hongyi also vowed to follow him to death. Among the 6 kings, 2 were spies. It would be strange if they succeeded in the end. Thank you for answering my questions. It seems that next, we just need to wait for the remaining 2 kings to appear. Jun Xiaoyao smiled. Then, the first king's palace, next, Kagura was still sitting on Jun Xiaoyao's lap. Her jade-like arms were wrapped around his neck, and her beautiful eyes were filled with pink seduction. I have to return to the Ares Academy. I'll look for you in the future. Jun Xiaoyao got up and gently pushed Kagura away. First King's Palace, you. Kagura was stunned. Was he treating her as a tool to search for information? Was he just going to throw her aside after using her? Thank you. It was a pleasant conversation. Jun Xiaoyao flashed a modest, gentlemanly smile. He then took a step forward and disappeared from where he stood. Kagura was stunned. Then, she stomped her jade-like feet in annoyance. First King's Palace, next time, I won't let you go, Kagura muttered to herself. Then, she seemed to think of something, and her expression became serious. There was one more thing that she hadn't told Jun Xiaoyao. Rumor has it that when the 6 kings appear, there will be a leader who will command them. The leader is the Dark Devil Monarch. Is this a legend or a fact? Because the 6 kings had never appeared at the same time, Kagura didn't know whether this legend was true or not. Kagura couldn't determine whether it was true or not, so she didn't tell Jun Xiaoyao. She didn't want to mislead him. She also knew that with the first king's pride, he wouldn't submit to anyone. I can only hope that the legend about the Dark Devil Monarch is false. Otherwise, the first king and the Dark Devil Monarch wouldn't be so harmonious. Kagura sighed inwardly. Chapter 1041. In the void, Jun Xiaoyao's figure appeared. There was too much information in this conversation with Kagura. Jun Xiaoyao had to organize his thoughts properly. And he had to plan what to do next. Up until now, Jun Xiaoyao had come into contact with more and more things. The karma behind it was also getting bigger and bigger. It even involved the origin of the foreign realm and the origin of the dark matter. This was a taboo mystery to begin with. There were many great secrets and terrors in this world that couldn't be explored. Since ancient times, it was unknown how many top powerhouses had been involved in all kinds of mysteries because of curiosity. In the end, they didn't even know how they died. Jun Xiaoyao's actions were simply dancing on the tip of a knife. If he wasn't careful, he might be consigned to eternal damnation. And at this time, the benefits of being a fateless person were displayed. At least, it was difficult for karma to involve Jun Xiaoyao. Although I'm a transmigrator, I'm a fateless person who has jumped out of the 3 realms, not in the 5 elements, not tainted by karma, and not fallen into the mortal world. But I still have to be cautious. It will be troublesome if I screw up. Jun Xiaoyao's eyes were as deep as the starry sky. It was hard to imagine that Jun Xiaoyao, who was only a supreme, had already begun to investigate these ancient mysteries. One had to know that there were many taboo mysteries that even the great emperors kept a secret and didn't dare to easily get involved in karma. Next, the first thing is to wait for the remaining 2 kings to appear. I don't think it will be too long. After the 2 kings appear, it's about time to head to the unspeakable place. Moreover, there's still a sign-in opportunity there. But before that, I still need to make a trip to the Nirvana Emperor clan to investigate the karma of the ghost-masked woman. Maybe there will be an unexpected gain. Let's return to the Ares Academy first and see how Xian Yu's injuries are. Let her lead me there. Jun Xiaoyao was planning step by step. The only thing that made him feel a little helpless was the whereabouts of his father, Jun Wuhui. Jun Wuhui completely disappeared after the battle with the Scarlet Owl King at the border. He was certain that he didn't return to the immortal realm. But there was no news of Jun Wuhui in the foreign realm. It was as if he had completely evaporated. There were two possibilities. First, Jun Wuhui wasn't in the other side at all. Second, Jun Wuhui hid himself extremely well, to the extent where there might be foreign creatures secretly shielding him. Don't think it's impossible. In the immortal region, there were spies from the other side like the Prometha organization. In the other side, there would naturally be some spies from immortal domain. However, these spies were too well hidden. Jun Xiaoyao had no way of knowing about them. If the first one is unlikely, then it's probably the second one. Jun Xiaoyao made a judgment. The reason was simple. He felt that Jun Wuhui must have his reasons for disappearing at this time. Even the battle between Jun Wuhui and the Crimson Owl King might be within his plans. Jun Xiaoyao was very curious. What exactly was Jun Wuhui's plan? What was his goal? I haven't seen this father of mine since I was born. I'm really looking forward to seeing what kind of disturbance father will stir up in this foreign world. Jun Xiaoyao thought to himself. Brothers fighting a tiger, father and son going into battle. He was looking forward to the moment when he would fight side by side with Jun Wuhui. Next, Jun Xiaoyao prepared to return to Ares Academy to check on Xian Yu's situation. Suddenly, a strange look flashed past Jun Xiaoyao's eyes. Because he smelled a somewhat familiar aura. It was the aura of incense. As mentioned before, when Jun Xiaoyao was with Luo Xiangling, he deliberately put a trace of incense on his body. In this way, Luo Xiangling's body would naturally be imperceptibly stained with a trace of incense. This was to make it easier for Jun Xiaoyao to check if Luo Xiangling was secretly peeping at him like an idiot. After all, Jun Xiaoyao also wanted privacy. If a pseudo-immortal really wanted to hide, Jun Xiaoyao really wouldn't be able to detect it. After sensing this trace of aura, Jun Xiaoyao naturally knew that Luo Xiangling, this little vinegar, was here. She still liked to secretly observe him. Jun Xiaoyao didn't show any abnormality on the surface, and he didn't point out Luo Xiangling. Otherwise, wouldn't Luo Xiangling be suspicious of how Jun Xiaoyao detected her presence? Soon, this trace of aura disappeared. Obviously, Luo Xiangling didn't want to show herself in front of him for the sake of her reputation. As a pseudo-immortal, this bit of reputation was still important. Sigh, I just solved the problem of the 5 foxes, and now I realize that this is the real problem. Jun Xiaoyao had a headache. Those 5 foxes, it didn't matter. Anyway, they couldn't push Jun Xiaoyao down even if they wanted to. But Luo Xiangling was different. She was a pseudo-immortal. If she really attacked, Jun Xiaoyao really wouldn't be able to resist. Forget it, I'll go back to the Ares Academy and comfort her. Jun Xiaoyao shook his head slightly. He swore that he would never hug the thigh of a beautiful auntie again. Sooner or later, he would have to pay for what he did. It didn't take long for Jun Xiaoyao to return to the Ares Academy. His return undoubtedly caused a huge sensation again. In the state of Heaven Tomb, he killed one of the 7 young emperors, the God Devourer Prince. In the matchmaking convention, he completely defeated Qi Hongyu. Even the 10-tailed black fox of destruction, one of the 6 kings, was no match for Jun Xiaoyao. The 5 princesses of Tushan tied a red string with him at the same time. The most ridiculous thing was that they even tied a red string with Tushan Mingfei. In the end, they only came out of the palace after a full 3 months. Each of these things was enough to cause a sensation. Not to mention that all of these things were concentrated on Jun Xiaoyao at the same time. Lord Ares is our role model. Killing princes, torturing kings, winning beauties, Lord Xiaoyao is our role model and our belief. The disciples of the Ares Academy could be said to have all become Jun Xiaoyao's fanatical fans. The fact that Jun Xiaoyao was in the same academy as them was a source of pride and joy to them. Some female disciples even became Jun Xiaoyao's diehard fans. They kept screaming, saying things like, "My brother ked me, I'll only feel sorry for my brother." Jun Xiaoyao smiled at all these. "Ah, Lord Xiaoyao is smiling at me." "Shut up, bitch, he's smiling at me." Jun Xiaoyao suddenly came up with a new idea when he saw how they reacted. The Church of Destiny happened to be recruiting believers. With his popularity in the foreign realm, as an idol, believers would come rolling in. As for treating fans like leeks? Come on, which idol didn't treat their fans like leeks? Of course, this was just Jun Xiaoyao's random imagination. After that, Su Hongyi, who learned that Jun Xiaoyao had returned, came to welcome Jun Xiaoyao. Su Hongyi had no objections to Jun Xiaoyao's marriage. Her identity was Jun Xiaoyao's follower. She had no right to comment on her master's actions, not even the right to be jealous. Jun Xiaoyao was her sky, the master she swore to follow. "Is everything fine at the academy? Where's the Luo King?" Jun Xiaoyao asked. He wanted to find the Luo King and comfort him. Even if it was a pet cat, he had to pet it often and smooth its fur, right? "Master, not long ago, the Luo King announced that he was going into seclusion and won't see anyone for the time being," Su Hongyi said respectfully. "Oh." Jun Xiaoyao raised his eyebrows. Was she sulking, or was she really jealous? Jun Xiaoyao didn't look for her again. It was impossible for him to be a bootlicker, not in this lifetime. Just as well. I'll use the remaining time to study the soul book. But before that, I have to find Xianyu. Jun Xiaoyao came to his own attic. He pushed open a door. A slender girl in a black silk dress was sitting cross-legged inside. Her facial features were exquisite and picturesque. There was a blood-tear mole at the corner of her eye that made her even more charming. Under her snow-white neck was an exquisite collarbone that was like a butterfly's wings. There was a scarlet-red spider lily mark on it, making her look strange and seductive. Who else could it be but Xianyu? "Have you recovered from your injuries?" Jun Xiaoyao asked gently. Xianyu was stunned. This was the first time Jun Xiaoyao had spoken to her with such a gentle attitude. Jun Xiaoyao's attitude towards her had always been cold because she had injured Jiang Xingyi. "Yes. I have to thank you for the chaos blood essence. Otherwise, my injuries wouldn't have healed so quickly," Xianyu whispered. "That's good." Jun Xiaoyao smiled faintly. It was also time for Xianyu to show her worth. However, Xianyu was a little dazed when she saw Jun Xiaoyao's handsome smile, which made him look like a celestial being. This was the first time Jun Xiaoyao had smiled at her. It was a beautiful smile that was as dazzling as the sun. It also gave people an inexplicable sense of calmness. Xianyu, who had lived a miserable life and had suffered a lot, could not help but immerse herself in the warmth and stability. Chapter 1042. Why? Are you thinking of your brother again? Seeing Xianyu staring at him, the smile on Jun Xiaoyao's face slowly disappeared. He mistakenly thought that Xianyu thought of him as her deceased brother again. He was not anyone's substitute. However, to his surprise, Xianyu shook her head. "No, I'm looking at you." Jun Xiaoyao was stunned. "When did this girl learn how to flirt with men?" "It seems that you've gradually gotten rid of the past," Jun Xiaoyao said. Xianyu frowned and remained silent for a while. "After talking to you before, I've thought it through. I've been trapped in an illusory obsession, looking for someone who might not exist. I'm deceiving myself." Xianyu smiled bitterly. She knew that the Nirvana organization and the woman named Hualien were probably lying to her. But she was willing to be deceived. For an illusory promise of reincarnation. "It's good that you've thought it through. Life doesn't always go your way. The best way to remember your brother is to look forward and live well, Jun Xiaoyao said lightly. Xian Yu was stunned. Jun Xiaoyao's words seemed to have an inexplicable power. She had been bound by memories and had never been free. She had never thought about her own life. But now Jun Xiaoyao asked her to look forward, which meant that he wanted her to take control of her life in her own hands. Xian Yu choked for a moment. She didn't expect Jun Xiaoyao to have such a warm side. He looked indifferent on the outside, but there was a fire in his heart, which made her feel a long-lost warmth and peace. Jun Xiaoyao saw the subtle changes in Xian Yu's eyes. This was the effect he wanted. He wanted Xian Yu to be used by him. Xian Yu and Su Hongyi would be two sharp knives under his command. Well, I'm here to tell you that I may be preparing to go to the Nirvana tribe. I hope you can lead the way and tell me some clues about the Nirvana tribe, Jun Xiaoyao said. Xian Yu nodded her head. Even her life was saved by Jun Xiaoyao. What reason did she have not to help? But now, the blue spider lilies might have a very strong opinion of me. Mystic Moon reminded. She was supposed to be executed by Prince Bayan. In the end, she didn't die, but Prince Bayan did. From this, one could see how the blue spider lilies would react. It doesn't matter. I'd like to see who has the guts, Jun Xiaoyao said calmly. Now, he had another identity. Tushan's son-in-law. The nine-tailed king of Tushan had even bestowed him with a red string of marriage. There was also the Shanao of Beech, as well as the mysterious immortal that he had created with the evil thoughts of the gods. This meant that Jun Xiaoyao had 3 immortal kings behind him. Who would dare to provoke him? I never thought that I would be able to rely on my background to suppress others in the other side. Jun Xiaoyao felt that it was a bit strange just thinking about it. His status in the mystic realm was unparalleled. His identity as the son of God of the Jun family was awe-inspiring. After that, in the other side, Jun Xiaoyao lost the protection of his background, so he had to plan carefully step by step. Now, he also had such a strong background. This was enough to prove that Jun Xiaoyao didn't just rely on the Jun family. Even if he was alone, it was enough for him to succeed and become famous. This was a real anomaly, a peerless genius. Jun Xiaoyao returned to his training ground after he was done with Xian Yu. Because the entire dragon vein in the other side was monopolized by Jun Xiaoyao and refined into the inner universe. So, for him, anywhere was a paradise. Finally, I can start to cultivate the soul book. Jun Xiaoyao took out the soul book. As one of the 9 great heavenly books, the soul book's mysteries were endless. Even if Qi Hongyu was taught by the Qishao king, he couldn't comprehend much. During the competition, he didn't even have time to use the soul book's mysteries before he was defeated by Jun Xiaoyao in a few moves. Let me see what's going on. Jun Xiaoyao opened the soul book and immersed his mind into it. Each of the ancient characters was like an ancient star that was rotating, releasing light and mysterious. Each ancient character seemed to be deconstructing the soul and exploring the mysteries of the primordial spirit and spirit. Jun Xiaoyao valued the soul book very much, because the primordial spirit was the most important thing in cultivation. If the primordial spirit was cultivated to a certain level, it could even leave the body and roam the universe. In a single thought, one's thoughts were as numerous as the sand in the Ganges River. It was neither created nor destroyed, neither increased nor decreased, immortal and indestructible. Of course, that was already an extremely high level of soul realm. Jun Xiaoyao's primordial spirit was still at the boundless level. It was at the level of quantitative change, and hadn't really reached the level of qualitative change. However, Jun Xiaoyao believed that with the soul book, it was only a matter of time before his primordial spirit transformed. He could even complete the preliminary cultivation of the primordial spirit of 3 lives. Following that, Jun Xiaoyao immersed himself in cultivation. On the other side, deep in the academy, a quasi-immortal was in a good mood. It was none other than Fufeng of Gojoseon. After learning that Luo Xiangling was in seclusion and refused to meet Jun Xiaoyao, Fufeng of Gojoseon was in an extremely good mood. This junior is still too inexperienced. How can the Luo King's feelings be played with so easily? Since he's married to the Tushan Five Beauties, this person can no longer have any contact with the Luo King. Fufeng of Gojoseon smiled faintly. Jun Xiaoyao had always been a thorn in his side, a thorn in his flesh. He couldn't understand why Luo Xiangling would take a fancy to Jun Xiaoyao. How did he lose? And now, the news of Jun Xiaoyao and the Tushan Five Beauties fighting for 3 months had spread throughout the entire other domain. Fufeng of Gojoseon believed that Luo Xiangling had completely given up. Since this kid isn't a threat for the time being, let him be. It's very troublesome to touch him. Fufeng of Gojoseon muttered to himself. With the protection of the Shanao of Beach, it was impossible for him to touch Jun Xiaoyao. At most, he could play some tricks in the dark. Purple Bamboo Forest was quiet and secluded. Few people came here. In a quiet and secluded courtyard, a woman who was peerlessly beautiful like a lotus flower that had just emerged from the water was sitting cross-legged by herself. Autumn water as divine jade as bone, azure long hair poured down like a waterfall. There was not a single blemish on her fair and delicate face. Her long eyelashes made her watery eyes shimmer. She gave off a feeling of gentleness like water and glistening like jade. She was the Luo King, Luo Xiangling. However, at this moment she couldn't calm down. No matter how much she wanted to immerse herself in cultivation. As long as she closed her eyes, she seemed to see the woman sitting on Jun Xiaoyao's lap. That's right. Luo Xiangling saw it. Previously, after dealing with the God Devourer Prince, Jun Xiaoyao went to the matchmaking convention alone. At that time, Luo Xiangling still had some resentment in her heart. However, she also believed that Jun Xiaoyao wouldn't go to the matchmaking convention. In the end, she heard the news that Jun Xiaoyao had not only become Tushan's son-in-law. Moreover, he had married 5 women at once. At that time, Luo Xiangling's heart was in a mess. However, she was the Luo King after all. She still had to maintain her dignity. Therefore, she waited patiently. Who would have thought that there would be news that Jun Xiaoyao and the 5 beauties had been in the bridal chamber for 3 months? This time, Luo Xiangling couldn't hold back anymore. She went directly to the great barbarian state. With her quasi-immortal ability, she could naturally sense Jun Xiaoyao's whereabouts. Then, she saw the scene of Kagura sitting on Jun Xiaoyao's lap, hugging his neck and chatting intimately. Luo Xiangling watched from afar. She didn't know what to feel. After that, the only thing that made Luo Xiangling slightly relieved was that Jun Xiaoyao didn't have anything to do with that woman. Instead, he left directly. Luo Xiangling approached, wanting to ask about Jun Xiaoyao. However, due to her dignity, she didn't show up in the end and left directly. He came back, but he didn't come to find me, Luo Xiangling muttered to herself. Suddenly, she felt a sense of loss. Although she released the news that she was in seclusion. But then again, Jun Xiaoyao should have come to take a look as well. However, Jun Xiaoyao didn't come. This made Luo Xiangling unable to calm down. Am I being pretentious? But I'm still a little angry. Luo Xiangling actually felt a little wronged. Her long dormant heartstrings were touched by Jun Xiaoyao. However, in the blink of an eye, Jun Xiaoyao was in the bridal chamber with other women. Moreover, there were 5 of them. There was even Kagura who made that kind of ambiguous gesture. As long as it was a woman, she would probably feel uncomfortable. It was really difficult for Luo Xiangling not to sulk. In fact, as long as Jun Xiaoyao came to explain, even if he really was in the bridal chamber, Luo Xiangling would have accepted it. However, Jun Xiaoyao didn't even come. He was like a scumbag who ignored women after their honeymoon period. Luo Xiangling, who had been single for many years, was confused about her feelings for the first time. Chapter 1043. Did I do something wrong? Luo Xiangling couldn't help but ask herself. She felt very lost. She had no experience in love, and Jun Xiaoyao was the first person of the opposite sex to open her heart. But now, Luo Xiangling was actually a little afraid. She was afraid that she and Jun Xiaoyao would really break up like this and become strangers. If that was really the case, Luo Xiangling couldn't imagine her emotions at that time. She was afraid that her heart would really die. Just as Luo Xiangling was feeling uneasy, Jun Xiaoyao, on the other hand, remained in his training ground, undisturbed. With his monstrous talent, although it was impossible for him to comprehend the soul book too quickly, it was definitely not slow either. In the blink of an eye, another few months had passed. As Jun Xiaoyao went into seclusion to cultivate, it seemed that the entire 10 provinces of the foreign realm had fallen into a short period of silence. However, Jun Xiaoyao's various deeds were still circulating in the 10 provinces, causing countless people to take delight in talking about them. Jun Xiaoyao had also become the faith of many men and the object of worship of many women. On Tuoba Yu's side, the preaching was going very smoothly. With Jun Xiaoyao's endorsement, almost no one was blind enough to stop them. In addition, Tuoba Yu was also very smart. He wouldn't go to those big royal and quasi-emperor clans to preach. He would only go to those slave clans and preach among them. Therefore, the number of believers of the God of Fate and Creation was increasing exponentially every day. There were too many slave clans and general clans in the foreign realm, like Ant. This was a group that was easy to overlook and extremely large in number. According to Tuoba Yu's calculations, until now, the number of believers who piously believed in the God of Fate and Creation had exceeded 100 million. And the number of creatures who cultivated the Tao Heart demonic seed art was about to reach 10 million. In addition, there were also the Blood Spirit Royal Clan, Blue Ghost Royal Clan, Blade Arm Shura Clan, and other royal clans that had been subdued by Jun Xiaoyao in the previous battle. Now they were also believing in the God of Fate and Creation. In addition to the Ice Spirit Royal Clan and other forces, faith had already begun to spread among the royal clans ranked at the bottom. Jun Xiaoyao could sense that the power of faith in the Innerverse was increasing exponentially every day. It had even converged into a vast ocean of faith. The dazzling golden sea of faith that was emitting a radiant light surged through the void of the Innerverse, creating huge waves that reached the heavens. It could be said that if this sea of faith was seen by the ancient Orchid sect or the Western Paradise sect, they would definitely be envious. After all, the power of faith was the foundation upon which these imperishable sects relied for their survival. In the middle of the sea of faith was the seed of faith. Now, the seed of faith was like the sun, emitting a dazzling brilliance. However, Jun Xiaoyao did not have the time to care about this. This was because he was currently using the Soul Book to break through the bottleneck of the 3 Lives Immortal Sutra and condense his future primordial spirit. In Jun Xiaoyao's mind, there were 3 Tao flowers, representing the past, present, and future. On the flower of the past and the flower of the present, there were 2 lifelike figures sitting cross-legged, like miniature versions of Jun Xiaoyao. They were the primordial spirits of the past and present. As for the 3 lives primordial spirits, he was still missing the primordial spirit of the future. This was also the most difficult primordial spirit to condense. Even with Jun Xiaoyao's monstrous talent, it was very difficult to condense it before he obtained a great opportunity like the Soul Book. But now, with the Soul Book, Jun Xiaoyao was ready to break through in one fell swoop. Rumble! Jun Xiaoyao's mind seemed to be opening up a new world. A huge amount of primordial spirit power surged like a tide. The primordial spirit level was divided into ordinary, exceptional, extraordinary, boundless, eternal, void, turbulent, immortal, and moksha. Jun Xiaoyao's original primordial spirit level was at the boundless level. Even among supremes, it was already an extremely high level. Now, the power of his primordial spirit was skyrocketing. In the end, his soul realm was about to boil, and the light of his primordial spirit shone like the sun. Jun Xiaoyao's primordial spirit level had already reached the peak of the boundless level. This was already the absolute limit that he could cultivate to in the supreme realm. Any higher would be the eternal sand level. With a thought, his primordial spirit was as vast as the sands of the Ganges River. Originally, the primordial spirit was considered relatively weak compared to the physical body. But if it reached the eternal sand level, it would be extremely difficult to completely destroy the primordial spirit. With a thought, the primordial spirit would scatter like the sands of the Ganges River. It wouldn't be easy to destroy it completely. But as long as a little bit of the primordial spirit remained, it could be recovered. It could be said that there weren't many eternal sand-level primordial spirits among the seven supremes. It's fine. When my cultivation increases in the future and I break through to the eternal sand level, it will be a matter of time. The most important thing now is the future primordial spirit. Jun Xiaoyao held his breath and focused. He began to use the power of the perfected boundless primordial spirit to condense the future primordial spirit. In Jun Xiaoyao's mind, lightning flashed, thunder rumbled, and flames burned. This was extremely terrifying. One had to know that the primordial spirit was also known as the Yin spirit, and it was of the Yin attribute. What it was most afraid of were lightning, flames, and other extreme yang powers. But now, in Jun Xiaoyao's mind, a scene of lightning flashing and a sea of fire surging appeared. It was a fatal blow to the primordial spirit. Jun Xiaoyao's past primordial spirit and present primordial spirit emitted a bright light. Like two young gods, they were sitting cross-legged and chanting scriptures. The three lives primordial spirits were unleashed to the extreme by Jun Xiaoyao. For other prodigies of the same generation, this kind of tribulation was almost certain death. It was impossible for the primordial spirit to survive this kind of lightning and fire tribulation. But for Jun Xiaoyao, this was a kind of tempering. It was tempering his primordial spirit into steel, allowing his primordial spirit to completely transform. Gradually, on the flower of the future, a misty fog began to flow. A speck of light began to be born and shine. That was the light that belonged to the future primordial spirit. Jun Xiaoyao held his breath and focused his attention on that speck of future light. Suddenly, he seemed to see some fragmented scenes through that speck of future light. In that fragmented scene, the heavens didn't give way to the heavens. The earth didn't recover. Everything was fragmented. Countless living beings had fallen, forming a river of blood that flowed in the universe. There were tens of thousands of white bones, floating corpses everywhere. Jun Xiaoyao also saw that some of the immortal domain's lands had collapsed, splitting into many small pieces. There were even huge corpses floating in the universe, emitting a residual might close to that of an emperor. Those were the corpses of quasi-emperors. Even someone as calm as Jun Xiaoyao was slightly shocked when he caught a glimpse of what was happening in that corner. The immortal domain's lands were shattered. The corpses of quasi-emperors drifted in the universe. Billions of living beings were bathed in blood. That was a scene of doomsday. What's going on? These fragmented scenes were beyond Jun Xiaoyao's expectations. Could it be that the foreign realm broke through the border in the war between the two realms? Jun Xiaoyao was trying to figure it out. The condensation of the future primordial spirit actually allowed him to see a corner of the future. No, that's not right. Jun Xiaoyao kept feeling that something was wrong. That kind of calamity and chaos didn't seem to be a foreign invasion. At this moment, Jun Xiaoyao suddenly focused his mind. This was because he saw a familiar figure in a fragment of the future. The beauty in white clothes stained with blood smiled. Jiang Shengyi. Jiang Shengyi's eyes were sad and filled with endless longing as she looked in his direction. It was as if she was looking at him from the space-time between the present and the future. Xiaoyao, if it's for you, I'm willing. Just let me be stupid this time. As Jiang Shengyi spoke, a jade-like hand pressed on her chest. Her figure turned into specks of light as if she had become a feather. A heart that was beating vigorously, wrapped in endless immortal radiance, was personally taken out by Jiang Shengyi. Every time the heart beat, countless great Tao rules of the universe would be shaken. 12 Apertures of the Immortal Heart. Chapter 1044. What exactly is going on? Jun Xiaoyao's mind went blank. Jun Xiaoyao, who had always been indifferent and supercilious, thought of everything. For the first time, his heart was a little confused. What exactly was the great tribulation that descended upon the immortal realm and caused quasi-emperors to die in the universe? Why would Jiang Shengyi do such a thing? Jun Xiaoyao did not understand. He did not understand at all. No matter how smart he was, it was impossible for him to grasp the script and know everything about the future. What exactly was going on with that corner of the future? Would Jiang Shengyi die? Jun Xiaoyao could not imagine it. No, could this be the inner demon of the tribulation? Jun Xiaoyao suddenly reacted. He was now transcending the primordial spirit tribulation. Perhaps this so-called corner of the future was actually the inner demon that disturbed his future primordial spirit. It was not impossible. However, Jun Xiaoyao always subconsciously felt that that corner of the future did not seem to be the inner demon. It was something that could really happen one day in the future. Jun Xiaoyao asked himself how he would feel if Jiang Shengyi really died for him. He did not want to think about it. You think you can mess with my mind with this illusory corner of the future? Jun Xiaoyao calmed himself down. His personality and willpower had always been a freak that surpassed ordinary people. Even if Mount Tai collapsed in front of him, his expression would not change. If they wanted to disturb his mind with just this corner of the future, they would be underestimating him. Even my fate is nothingness. Who can deduce my future? Moreover, I will not allow this to happen. Even if heaven and earth are destroyed and the ages collapse, who dares to bury or destroy the people of Jun Xiaoyao? Jun Xiaoyao's mind was completely calm, and he did not waver. That corner of the future also disintegrated into endless light spots in an instant. Then, the light spots gathered on the flower of the future. Gradually, a miniature figure appeared and turned into a little person that was crystal clear like glass, like a miniature version of Jun Xiaoyao. It was the future primordial spirit. Boom! As the future primordial spirit condensed, 3 nascent spirits sat cross-legged on the 3 Tao flowers in Jun Xiaoyao's mind. Past, present, future. Jun Xiaoyao's 3 lives primordial spirits were finally complete and successfully condensed. At the moment when the primordial spirit of 3 lives was completely condensed, the past, present, and future primordial spirits each displayed a section of the law of the soul. Then, the 3 soul laws were pieced together to form a complete law. Soul law. Previously, Jun Xiaoyao had not condensed the immortal qi of the soul. Now, with the help of the 3 lives primordial spirit, he had directly condensed the law of the soul. This was the 3rd law that Jun Xiaoyao had mastered. In an instant, Jun Xiaoyao felt that his cultivation had taken another step forward, reaching the small perfection sovereign realm. Actually, he could still make another breakthrough. However, Jun Xiaoyao wanted to break through after condensing more laws. That way, the benefits of the breakthrough would be even greater. Jun Xiaoyao's goal was not to become an ultimate supremacy who controlled 9 laws. He wanted to surpass the ultimate supremacy. Just as Jun Xiaoyao was breaking through, in his secluded cultivation place, the sky was also covered with dark clouds, and there was always thunder and lightning flashing and rumbling. Then, everyone felt a terrifying soul pressure pouring out from the secluded cultivation place, causing their nascent spirits to tremble. What a terrifying pressure! It's from the war god's side. Let's go take a look. The strange situation in the secluded cultivation place undoubtedly attracted a large number of disciples from the War God Academy. Outside the secluded cultivation place, Fei Qingxue blocked everyone. Please do us a favor, we don't want to disturb the War God, we just want to admire him from afar, a disciple with a higher status said. Master is cultivating, no one is allowed to enter, Fei Qingxue said firmly. This is too much, we just want to learn from the war god's experience of breaking through. A genius from the Boundary Emperor clan frowned. In front of Jun Xiaoyao, they were naturally very humble. But Fei Qingxue was just a princess of a small royal clan. If not for her identity as Jun Xiaoyao's servant, she was nothing in this academy. You! Fei Qingxue gritted her teeth, and a cold aura surged around her. She wanted to activate her ice Dao bone. However, just as everyone was about to break in to take a look, suddenly, everyone felt a terrifying murderous intent. That murderous intent seemed to freeze their hearts. Even that genius from the Boundary Emperor clan felt the same. Who dares to disturb the young master? A girl in a red dress said in an indifferent voice. Her blood-red eyes, which seemed to be condensed from blood, bloomed with a soul-stirring cold light. Mahakala! Su Hongyi, seeing the girl appear, that genius from the Boundary Emperor clan felt his hair stand on end. Su Hongyi was one of the 6 kings, and it was no secret that she was Mahakala. Causing trouble in the young master's secluded cultivation place, Dai. A blood-red datura flower bloomed in Su Hongyi's red eyes, and she was about to attack. However, splat! A black sickle struck from behind, cleaving the quasi-emperor race prodigy into 2 halves. Blood and bones splattered everywhere. Seeing this scene, even Su Hongyi was stunned. The 2 halves of the corpse fell to the sides like a watermelon. A girl in a black silk dress, with her slender arms and legs wrapped in bandages, holding a scythe of the death god, walked over with blood and bones in her hand. Who else could it be but Xianyu? Gulp! All the surrounding geniuses swallowed a mouthful of saliva at the same time. Jun Xiaoyao's followers were not only beautiful girls. Each one was more ruthless than the last. They were all evil people. Why aren't you scramming? Xian Yu's cold gaze swept across the surroundings. As someone from an assassin organization, her murderous intent was naturally not weak. We'll leave now. Everyone dispersed in an uproar. As for the dead genius from the Boundary Emperor clan, no one even came to collect his corpse. The Boundary Emperor clan behind him did not dare to cause trouble for Jun Xiaoyao. Su Hongyi looked at Xian Yu and frowned slightly. She recognized Xian Yu. She was the girl who was rescued by Jun Xiaoyao on the day of the heavenly selection meeting. We're all working for the young master, Xian Yu replied indifferently. Their gazes met in the void. To a certain extent, their temperaments were somewhat similar. One was like the demon queen in red, the other was like the dark night goddess of slaughter. One had the power of the heavenly god Mahakala, while the other had a special mortal body that could devour all Daos. Fei Qingxue looked at the 2 girls. For some reason, she felt that they seemed to want to compete and compete. When the storm outside calmed down in the seclusion grounds, Jun Xiaoyao opened his eyes. His aura was now much stronger than before. His realm had reached the lesser perfection supreme realm. His primordial spirit had reached the greater perfection boundless realm. He had condensed his future primordial spirit. 3 primordial spirits had gathered. He had condensed the law of souls. It could be said that Jun Xiaoyao had improved a lot with the help of the soul book this time. However, that corner of the future still made Jun Xiaoyao fall into deep thought. A moment later, Jun Xiaoyao shook his head and smiled. Fine, why bother so much? I, Jun Xiaoyao, don't believe in fate. Jun Xiaoyao had gotten over it. It was useless to think about it now. Increasing his strength was the way to go. When his strength reached the peak of the supreme realm, he could even cross the river of time and even cut it off. Why should he care about that illusory corner of the future? Next, I'll make a trip to the Nirvana Emperor race and find out the karma between the ghost-masked woman and the Nirvana Emperor race. This puzzle has been bothering me for a long time. But before that, I still need to make a trip to Luo Xiangling. After returning, not only did he not visit her, he even went into seclusion and ignored her for a few months. The matter of Luo Xiangling had to be resolved eventually. After resolving the matters of the Nirvana Emperor race and the Avacania lands, Jun Xiaoyao might have to return to the immortal region. At that time, he might really cut ties with her. Jun Xiaoyao did not want to let go of a quasi-immortal level expert for nothing. A quasi-immortal level expert was a top-notch expert anywhere. He wanted to pull Luo Xiangling to the monarch imperial court and make her one of his own. Jun Xiaoyao had a plan in mind. He was ready to lay his cards on the table. Chapter 1045. Jun Xiaoyao's breakthrough had undoubtedly caused a stir in the Ares Academy. What was that saying again? People who were better than you worked harder than you. Jun Xiaoyao's performance had undoubtedly given the Ares Academy's disciples a shot of adrenaline. They worked even harder to cultivate. Elder Mu and the others had also come to see Jun Xiaoyao. They were extremely satisfied with his performance. They even thought that Jun Xiaoyao could take over the position of the Shanao of Beech in the future and become the new pillar of the Ares Academy. Jun Xiaoyao only smiled at these praises. He wouldn't stay in the foreign territory forever. There would be a day when he would have a showdown. When that time came, he wondered how these foreign creatures who worshipped him would feel. Jun Xiaoyao went to the purple bamboo forest where Luo Xiangling was. The bamboo forest was quiet. In the depths, he could see small bridges and flowing water. Although Luo Xiangling said that he was in seclusion and wouldn't see anyone, but if Jun Xiaoyao wanted to come, no one dared to stop him. He arrived at the courtyard. "Xiangling, do you have time?" Jun Xiaoyao asked calmly. Although he was here to solve Luo Xiangling's problem, he wouldn't lower his status. He wouldn't be a bootlicker. After he said that, there was no movement in the courtyard. Jun Xiaoyao paused for a moment and laughed. He turned around and was about to leave without any reluctance. If Luo Xiangling really had such an attitude, then what was the harm in breaking up? Creak. The door opened noiselessly. Jun Xiaoyao only smiled after hearing that. Women. They were all animals who didn't mean what they said. However, it was normal for Luo Xiangling to be so arrogant. As a quasi-immortal, of course he had some face. Jun Xiaoyao entered the house. He saw a beautiful and picturesque figure. Luo Xiangling was facing Jun Xiaoyao from the side. She sat on the cushion and held a brush in her jade-like hand. There was a painting in front of her. On the painting was a woman standing by the banks of a river, as if she wanted to ride the wind and fly away. She was overflowing with celestial energy and was incomparably beautiful. It was the painting that Jun Xiaoyao had given to Luo Xiangling. There was also an inscription of the Luotian Fu on the painting. But it was different from before. Beside the woman by the riverbank there was a man. The man's figure was tall and slender. His clothes were whiter than snow, and they weren't tainted by a speck of dust. Mist flowed around him while he was enveloped by immortal radiance, causing him to seem like an immortal that walked through the mortal world. It was none other than Jun Xiaoyao. It was painted by Luo Xiangling himself. A man and a woman stood on the banks of the river like a pair of celestial lovers. "Does it look good?" Luo Xiangling suddenly asked. "Yes," Jun Xiaoyao said after a moment of silence. "I think my painting skills are nothing. I can't portray your charm, Xiaoyao." Luo Xiangling sighed faintly. Jun Xiaoyao's handsomeness could be written down with the tip of a brush. However, it was difficult to portray his innate temperament. It's hard to draw the bones of a tiger. You may know a person's face but not his heart, Luo Xiangling said. It was unknown if there was a hidden meaning. Jun Xiaoyao was a little embarrassed. The hidden bitterness was almost overflowing. The dignified Luo King had simply become a resentful woman. But in the end, it was because of Jun Xiaoyao. "Xiangling, I know what you want to ask. If I say that nothing happened between me and the 5 beauties of Tushan, would you believe me?" Jun Xiaoyao said quietly. Luo Xiangling's dim eyes lit up slightly. In fact, she didn't believe that Jun Xiaoyao would do that at first. Although the 5 beauties of Tushan were peerlessly beautiful, Jun Xiaoyao shouldn't be such a casual person. Besides, if Jun Xiaoyao really coveted beauty, then would she be worse than the 5 beauties of Tushan? Then it's because… Luo Xiangling wanted to say something but hesitated. There are many things that happen for a reason. What if I were to say that I need the power of the Tushan imperial family? Jun Xiaoyao asked with a profound look in his eyes. You need the power of the emperor clan. Why you… Luo Xiangling finally turned her beautiful face and looked at Jun Xiaoyao. She had previously felt that Jun Xiaoyao was like a mystery that no one could see through. Jun Xiaoyao exhaled slightly. He wanted to act according to his plan and do it in one go. Xiangling, you once said that you have a past that belongs to you. I am the same. Everyone has their own secret. And now I can tell you everything honestly. Jun Xiaoyao's tone was firm. Xiaoyao, you… Luo Xiangling also noticed that Jun Xiaoyao's tone was not right. She subconsciously waved her hand and isolated the entire courtyard to prevent any spying. Do you still remember the first time we met? Jun Xiaoyao suddenly asked. Luo Xiangling lowered her eyes slightly. Her eyelashes were thick. She nodded and said, Of course I remember. If they hadn't met that time, how could there be a story now? At that time, you said that I was from the immortal region and a spy who had infiltrated the Ares Academy. Jun Xiaoyao smiled. That was just a bluff. Luo Xiangling also felt a little embarrassed. Xiangling, you guessed right. From the moment you saw me, you guessed right, Jun Xiaoyao said very seriously. Luo Xiangling suddenly raised her eyes and looked straight at Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao suppressed the aura of the dark blood in the inner universe and restored it to the original aura of the immortal region. I am from the Jun family of the immortal region. My name is indeed Xiaoyao, but it is not Yu Xiaoyao, but Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao's tone was calm. However, every word was like a clap of thunder in Luo Xiangling's ears. She was stunned. She was really stunned. A quasi-immortal level cultivator's mind could not wrap itself around it. He was not Yu Xiaoyao, but Jun Xiaoyao. Everything that had happened before was a lie. If it were anyone else, they would be stunned and unable to think of anything. More importantly, Jun Xiaoyao was one of the 6 world-destroying kings. A world-destroying king who brought disaster and destruction to the immortal region. He was actually a creature of the immortal region. Wasn't this the biggest joke in the world? If news of this got out, the entire foreign realm would be turned upside down. It was because everyone, including some undying kings, had been deceived by Jun Xiaoyao. Luo Xiangling's mind was buzzing. Her first reaction was that this was fake, that Jun Xiaoyao was deliberately playing with her. However, the aura of the immortal region was very real. Moreover, there was no way he would joke about such a major matter. Luo Xiangling's expression changed greatly. She really wanted to calm down. The impact of this news was too great. Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao, Luo Xiangling muttered, feeling like she had heard this name before. Then, she suddenly remembered. Previously, the foreign realm planned to break into the divine ruins. In the end, it was precisely Immortal Domain's Jun family's son of God, Jun Xiaoyao, who ruined it. It was even said that the Jun family's son of God was one of Immortal Domain's most monstrous existences in this great era. He was a great threat to the foreign realm. However, later on, news of Jun Xiaoyao's death spread. Luo Xiangling didn't pay it much attention either. Meanwhile now, this Jun Xiaoyao who ruined the foreign realm's great plans, who could be said to be a great threat to the foreign realm, was actually standing right in front of her. Xiao. Almost in an instant, Luo Xiangling raised her jade-like hand. Water energy flowed, condensing into an ice crystal sword. It pointed at Jun Xiaoyao's chest. Jun Xiaoyao stood in place, a smile hanging on his face. Chapter 1046. The scene was momentarily silent. A peerlessly beautiful woman. A young master in elegant white clothes. A foreign quasi-undying King Luo. One of them was the divine child of the Jun family in the immortal region, Jun Xiaoyao. The atmosphere seemed to have frozen at this moment. You lied to everyone. Luo Xiangling opened her mouth, her voice trembling slightly. She was not afraid, because Jun Xiaoyao could not threaten her at all. Her voice trembled because of disbelief, because she was deceived. That's right, I lied to everyone, Jun Xiaoyao said frankly. You also lied to me. Luo Xiangling's tone became heavier. The ice crystal sword in her hand advanced another half an inch, sticking close to Jun Xiaoyao's heart. I didn't lie to you, Jun Xiaoyao said. You still say you didn't lie. So, you've always been using me as a shield. Even when you were injured in the desolate border, I still asked someone to give you the dragon vein to treat your injuries. Luo Xiangling was truly heartbroken. She, who was pure in nature, never had feelings for anyone. In the end, the first time she met Jun Xiaoyao, this heart-wrenching scumbag, she was really unlucky. If you think I lied about my identity, then that's right. But when I was with you, there was not the slightest bit of hypocrisy. I drew pictures for you, wrote poems for you. I liked to play chess with you, discuss the Tao. In my eyes, you are not the high and mighty King Luo, but someone I can treat with sincerity. An adorable woman. Jun Xiaoyao's face did not turn red, his heart did not beat fast. His acting could be said to be perfect. Although the words were a bit mushy, this was related to Jun Xiaoyao's future plans. So, there could be no mistakes. You, shut up. Luo Xiangling heard this, her mind in chaos. She thought of all the things she had done with Jun Xiaoyao. Do you know that if your identity is revealed, for you, death is the easiest thing? You can continue to hide and deceive me. Luo Xiangling bit her red lips and said, That's right. I can keep hiding it, but I don't want to. I can deceive everyone, but I don't want to keep deceiving you, Jun Xiaoyao said. Then you will die. Luo Xiangling's eyes were slightly red. Then let's die. Dying at the hands of the Luo king would make this trip worthwhile, said Jun Xiaoyao frankly. He looked into Luo Xiangling's sparkling eyes. He was gambling. This was a huge gamble. If he won, he would be able to establish a solid relationship with Luo Xiangling. He had lost. Sorry, Jun Xiaoyao would not seek his own death. He had already arranged a plan and contingency plan for himself. It was impossible for him to die at the hands of Luo Xiangling. Jun Xiaoyao was not a love saint, nor was he an infatuated man. With his personality, it was even more impossible for him to die in the hands of a woman. Jun Xiaoyao was like a dead pig that was unafraid of being scalded by boiling water. Luo Xiangling clenched her jade-like hands, trembling slightly. She asked herself, even if she knew that Jun Xiaoyao was the son of God of the immortal region's Jun family, could she bear to do it? Jun Xiaoyao could keep hiding it from her. But he was willing to be honest and tell her the truth. That ice crystal sword pointed at Jun Xiaoyao's chest, but it was unable to descend. Jun Xiaoyao raised his hand and grabbed the ice crystal sword. Xiangling, with your strength, killing me is just a matter of a thought. No matter how monstrous Jun Xiaoyao was, there was an insurmountable gap between a supreme and a quasi-immortal. Of course, this was under the condition that Jun Xiaoyao did not use any other trump card. You are forcing me. Luo Xiangling's chest heaved. Jun Xiaoyao was forcing her to make a choice. Should she choose to kill him and expose him? Or help him hide it and become an accomplice? After all, the closest relationship in the world was to be an accomplice. Why would I force you, Xiangling? I just trust you. Jun Xiaoyao smiled gently and brightly. Almost no woman could resist Jun Xiaoyao's smile, including Xian Yu from before. The ice crystal sword silently turned into light spots and dissipated. Luo Xiangling turned around. Is this your biggest secret? Of course, Jun Xiaoyao said. In his heart, he breathed a sigh of relief. It seemed that he had passed this hurdle. He made the right bet. You also know that I also have my own secrets, right? Luo Xiangling said faintly. I said that I won't force you to say it unless you are willing. Then I can be a listener, Jun Xiaoyao said gently. Then what if I tell you that I am not human? Luo Xiangling's words made the atmosphere instantly quiet down. Jun Xiaoyao's expression froze for a moment. To be honest, he was a little surprised. But it seemed to be reasonable, because Jun Xiaoyao had felt it before. Luo Xiangling had a pure and clear heart, and sometimes even a little simple. She was simple and did not have the complicated thoughts and shrewdness of human beings. It was precisely because of this that Jun Xiaoyao dared to take this gamble. Seeing Jun Xiaoyao's silence, Luo Xiangling smiled with a little bitterness. However, the next moment, Jun Xiaoyao smiled slightly and said, "So what if I am and so what if I am not? I only know that you are Xiangling, and that is enough." Luo Xiangling's heart trembled again. Then, she smiled bitterly and said, "Maybe I am not qualified to expose you." Jun Xiaoyao was surprised again. "What if I say that I am also from the immortal region?" Luo Xiangling's words made Jun Xiaoyao's expression freeze. "Why, if you don't believe me, I can tell you my story." Luo Xiangling sighed slightly. She was indeed not human. She was not even other creatures, but a river. A river called the Xiang River. It was the same as the rivers that could be seen everywhere. The Xiang River was just an ordinary river. But one day, a middle-aged man came to the river, his whole body wrapped in chaotic qi. He sat cross-legged by the river, cultivating and comprehending, returning to the origin, confirming the great Tao of heaven and earth. The ordinary Xiang River was no longer ordinary because of the man's arrival. Every day, the sound of the great Tao resounded. The runes of the great Tao of heaven and earth flickered and fell into the river from time to time. Luo Xiangling did not know when she began to have consciousness. She saw the man by the river, day after day, year after year. The Xiang River was no longer just an ordinary river. It had intelligence and turned into a river spirit. On the banks of the Luo River, the Xiang River had a spirit. It was known as Luo Xiangling. She regarded the middle-aged man as family because it was the middle-aged man who gave her life. However, when Luo Xiangling condensed her body and stood in front of the man's expression was incomparably indifferent, like the heavenly Tao. There is order between heaven and earth. You are an ordinary river, and you should be an ordinary river. Because my arrival has involved your karma, so I have to erase this karma. The rules of the heavenly Tao cannot be violated. Those who defy the heavens will be punished. The man made his move. Chaotic qi overflowed and erased Luo Xiangling's intelligence. But he did not expect that. The water of the Xiang River evaporated into the sky and turned into rain. In a drop of rain, there was still a bit of Luo Xiangling's spiritual consciousness left. This drop of rain floated and floated and floated. She did not know how long she floated for, nor how many epochs she floated for. She fell into a river. That river was a branch of the foreign realm's Nether River. And the Nether River was an existence that spanned across the foreign realm's 10 great prefectures like a mother river. The Nether River Prefecture, where the Ares Academy was located, was named after the Nether River. After an unknown period of time, Luo Xiangling appeared again. And after condensing her body again, her strength was no longer the same as before. Perhaps because of the power of the Nether River, she became a quasi-immortal level existence respected by all. And for her who had no relatives or friends, the best place to stay was the Ares Academy located in the Nether River Prefecture. From then on, in the depths of the Ares Academy, in the purple bamboo forest, there was an additional ancient and peerless Luo king. This was the story of Luo Xiangling. Chapter 1047. The story was over. The room was silent. Even Jun Xiaoyao would never have thought that Luo Xiangling would have such a past. She was originally a river in the immortal domain, but in the end, she became the Luo king of a foreign domain. Jun Xiaoyao couldn't help but think of the legend emperor, Luo Shenmi Fei. When he was in the Snake People tribe's Temple of Doom, he had spoken with a wisp of Mi Fei's remnant soul. Although Mi Fei wasn't a river spirit, she was the goddess of the river. However, she was the goddess in charge of the rivers, and was known as the Luo River Goddess. From the looks of it, Luo Shenmi Fei should be Luo Xiangling's ancestor-level figure. This is my past, this is my secret. Luo Xiangling's words were faint. She had never told anyone about her past. Now, she told Jun Xiaoyao everything. Only Jun Xiaoyao was qualified to listen to her thoughts. Jun Xiaoyao's doubts were completely resolved. From the first time he saw Luo Xiangling, he felt that she was inhumanly pure. That pair of watery eyes carried a kind of purity. Now that the truth was revealed, it was reasonable. In addition, Jun Xiaoyao was also a little interested in the man in the story. Sitting cross-legged to comprehend the great Tao of heaven and earth was enough to give birth to a river spirit. It was enough to prove that the man's cultivation realm was definitely powerful. That man has the chaotic body? Jun Xiaoyao asked. Luo Xiangling nodded slightly. Jun Xiaoyao's doubts were resolved again. Why was Luo Xiangling interested in him in the beginning? It was because he also had the chaotic body. Actually, in the beginning, the reason why I recommended you to become the quasi-war god was to give you trouble. Because of that person, I didn't have a good impression of the chaotic body. But after seeing you, I changed my mind. You are a very interesting person. Luo Xiangling was a little embarrassed when she said this. In the beginning, she did want to tease Jun Xiaoyao. After all, the one with the chaotic body had almost killed her. However, after meeting Jun Xiaoyao, Luo Xiangling felt that Jun Xiaoyao seemed to be an interesting person. That was how the story developed. Jun Xiaoyao also felt somewhat fortunate. Fortunately, he was handsome. If it was an ugly girl, Luo Xiangling probably wouldn't find it interesting. This was an era where looks mattered. Then I have to thank you for sparing my life. Xiangling. Jun Xiaoyao cupped his hands slightly. Luo Xiangling naturally knew that Jun Xiaoyao was teasing her. Following the secret exchange between the two, the atmosphere was no longer as tense as before. Seriously speaking, I'm also from the immortal region. What qualifications do I have to expose you? Luo Xiangling said softly. Jun Xiaoyao's true identity came as a surprise to her. However, Luo Xiangling didn't have any sense of belonging to the foreign land. Of course, she didn't have any sense of belonging to the immortal region either. She was just a river to begin with. She didn't have the concept of a so-called camp. The only thing that made her feel a little like home was the Ares Academy. However, the Ares Academy was nothing compared to Jun Xiaoyao. Xiangling, have you ever thought of returning to the immortal region? Jun Xiaoyao asked. He began to test her. Return to the immortal region? Luo Xiangling was stunned. Her beautiful eyes seemed to be a little dull. She said, that person said that I'm just a river, and I can only be a river. Giving birth to sentience might be a mistake in itself. Luo Xiangling had always been confused. Should she exist or not? Or was it better to just be an ordinary river? When Jun Xiaoyao heard this, his eyes flashed. He directly stepped forward and gently hugged Luo Xiangling. Luo Xiangling's delicate body tensed up again. It was exactly like that sentence. Women were flesh and blood made of water. When hugged, it was soft and smooth. Her skin was fine like silk. Her willowy waist was soft and slender. It really was like she was made of water. Xiangling, all things in the world exist for a reason. Perhaps you were indeed just an ordinary river in the past, but now you have a name. You are Luo Xiangling, a living existence. Therefore, there is no need to doubt your existence. Living as a person is your destiny. Jun Xiaoyao's words made Luo Xiangling's eyes seem to be dazed. Her heart had always been like rootless duckweed. However, Jun Xiaoyao made her floating heart calm down. Sparkling tears fell from the corners of Luo Xiangling's eyes. She also hugged Jun Xiaoyao back. She hugged him very tightly. What battle between the immortal region and the foreign realm? She didn't care at all. Meeting someone who could understand her was more important than anything else. Sensing Luo Xiangling's emotions, Jun Xiaoyao just hugged her silently. He didn't know if he was acting right now. After comforting her, Luo Xiangling's emotions stabilized, but her face was a little red. It seems that my little life is saved. Jun Xiaoyao smiled slightly. Luo Xiangling charmingly rolled her eyes at Jun Xiaoyao. This woman, who was as smooth as water, could also be very seductive. She naturally couldn't harm Jun Xiaoyao now. In fact, she had already begun to worry for Jun Xiaoyao, fearing that something bad would happen to him in the foreign realm. Xiaoyao, your identity is too dangerous in the foreign realm, Luo Xiangling said worriedly. She knew that the Jun family was definitely a thorn in the side of the foreign realm, a thorn in the flesh. Jun Xiaoyao was the son of God of the Jun family. If his identity was exposed, the consequences would be unimaginable. Don't worry, Xiangling, my identity won't be easily discovered. After I'm done with the following matters, I'll bring you back. Jun Xiaoyao looked at Luo Xiangling, his tone firm. Luo Xiangling's snow-white face flushed red. This time, she didn't directly refuse. When we return to the immortal region, if we meet that person. Luo Xiangling still had some fear in her heart. That was a chaotic body. Moreover, Luo Xiangling felt that the origin of that chaotic body should be very great. Even after such a long time, he shouldn't have died yet. Don't worry, the immortal region is my Jun family's world. Even if that chaotic body still exists, there's no need to fear him. Jun Xiaoyao's words couldn't help but make Luo Xiangling feel relieved and safe. What a woman needed the most was the sense of security brought by a man. Even if her cultivation was much stronger than Jun Xiaoyao's. By the way, Xiangling, you said that you became a quasi-immortal level because of the power of the branch of the Nether River. And the source of the Nether River seems to be in the Avacania lands. If possible in the future, I'll help you break through and become a true immortal king. When the time comes, no one can threaten you with just your own strength. Jun Xiaoyao's tone was firm. Since Luo Xiangling had completely become one of them, naturally, he had to consider for her. Jun Xiaoyao had always taken care of his own people. He even took out some rare spring water from the spring of life. This should be helpful for Luo Xiangling's cultivation. Xiaoyao, thank you. Seeing Jun Xiaoyao so sincerely concerned about her, Luo Xiangling's eyes sparkled. This was the first time she experienced the feeling of being protected and taken care of. For some reason, an impulse welled up in her heart. Luo Xiangling took the initiative to lean forward and kiss Jun Xiaoyao's lip. Jun Xiaoyao was stunned and only reacted belatedly. He was raped again. Chapter 1048. Jun Xiaoyao felt as if he had been cursed. Every time, he was the one who was forcefully kissed. There were very few times when he took the initiative. Jiang Xingyi and Jiang Luoli were the same at that time. Perhaps this was fate. The light kiss ended. Luo Xiangling's pretty face was crimson. Her eyes were moist like pearls, full of life. She didn't know why, but she had this impulse. Because it was her first time, she only touched him lightly, and it was a little awkward. Jun Xiaoyao was glad that Luo Xiangling only kissed him and didn't push him. Otherwise, he really wouldn't have been able to resist. Jun Xiaoyao didn't mind too much. As a man, it was still acceptable to suffer such a loss. At the very least, Luo Xiangling was taken down. She hugged this thigh tightly. The atmosphere was a little awkward. Luo Xiangling lowered her eyes, not daring to look at Jun Xiaoyao's eyes. Jun Xiaoyao calmed down and said, Xiangling, I will think of a way to improve your cultivation in the future. But the Avacania lands are too dangerous. Luo Xiangling raised her eyes with deep worry. It could be said to be the most mysterious place in the foreign realm. Even she had never set foot in it. The most powerful, most mysterious, and most ancient ultimate emperor clan in the foreign realm was also there. In fact, the most mysterious ultimate calamity in the foreign realm was also in the Avacania land. She didn't want Jun Xiaoyao to take the risk. This is what I have to do. Jun Xiaoyao smiled. If Luo Xiangling could really break through to the Immortal King realm, it would be a great help to Jun Xiaoyao. Next, he stayed with Luo Xiangling for another month or so. Nothing discordant happened. Then, Jun Xiaoyao left. On the way, Jun Xiaoyao was thinking about the chaotic body that allowed Luo Xiangling to awaken her spiritual intelligence. He had a feeling that the primal chaos body was still alive. Logically speaking, as long as one had the primal chaos physique, they should be very famous in the immortal region. However, Jun Xiaoyao did not have a suitable candidate in mind. There was only one possibility. It was precisely that primal chaos body, someone from a certain hidden power in immortal domain, his identity and traces completely concealed. He couldn't help but think of the primal chaos physique seed in the immortal realm that had yet to break through its seal. Could there be any connection between them? Jun Xiaoyao thought of many things. After that, he found Xianyu. The two of them quietly left the Ares Academy. This time, Jun Xiaoyao only brought Xianyu along. He didn't alert anyone. Along the way, Jun Xiaoyao asked Xianyu about the Higan tribe. Xianyu also told him everything she knew. However, she had never truly been to the emperor clans on the other side, so she didn't know what was going on there. Before this, she was just an undercover assassin for the Otherworld organization. As for the Permitha organization, it was only one of the factions under the Permitha emperor family. Strictly speaking, it should be said that it was a vassal, similar to the blue-red spider lilies. The Nirvana clan sure is mysterious. Jun Xiaoyao chuckled. Now, even if he was in the outer realm, he didn't have to fear anything. Unless he provoked the ultimate Emperor clan, otherwise, even if it was the immortal Emperor clan, he could deal with them calmly. The Higan tribe was located in the Higan state. The entire state was named after this tribe, which showed how powerful this tribe was. However, this tribe was also extremely rare, and it was rarely seen in the outside world. On the contrary, there were more creatures from the blue-red spider lilies. A month later, Jun Xiaoyao arrived at the Higan state. Then, he directly headed to the ancestral land of the Higan tribe. On the way, Jun Xiaoyao suddenly stopped in his tracks. His gaze was cold as he looked ahead. A woman wearing a devil mask and a charming figure silently appeared. Hualien. Xian Yu's gaze focused. Back then, in the underground battle arena, when Xian Yu was in despair, it was Hualien who appeared and gave her an illusory hope. Now that she thought about it, Hualien had lied to her. However, if it wasn't for Hualien, she might not have been able to hold on until now and would have gone crazy. She also wouldn't have met Jun Xiaoyao and the rest of the story would have happened. Therefore, Xian Yu had mixed feelings about Hualien. What's the matter? Jun Xiaoyao said calmly. The famous god of war really lives up to your name. I have to thank you, sir, Hualien said with a smile. Oh! That Higan prince is indeed a little annoying. Also, I have to thank you for saving Xian Yu. She is the sharpest knife of the Higan tribe. I don't want to see anything happen to her, Hualien said seriously. So you lied to me? Xian Yu suddenly said. I didn't lie. Perhaps you really can lead your brother's soul back, although the possibility is extremely low. Even if it was 1 in a billion, it was still possible. Therefore, Hualien didn't think that she was lying. Xian Yu didn't say much. She had already gotten over it. Her brother was just an ordinary cultivator. It was difficult for him to leave a trace in this world. Not to mention luring his soul back. Are you going to the Higan tribe? Hualien changed the topic. That's right, Jun Xiaoyao said. The Higan tribe wouldn't dare to stop you, sir. However, I'm afraid that the blue spider lilies will make things difficult for you, Hualien said. It doesn't matter. If they dare to stop me, they will have to pay the price. Jun Xiaoyao didn't care at all. As expected of the god of war. I'll take my leave then. Hualien smiled and disappeared. Jun Xiaoyao continued to move forward with Xian Yu. After a few days, suddenly, There was a large patch of blue spider lilies in front. It was as blue as the sea and extremely beautiful. It had a magical power that could make people fall in love with it. Jun Xiaoyao raised his eyebrows and sensed a faint wave of array formation. The Higan tribe's ancestral bloodline is deep in the core of the Higan state. The blue spider lilies are stationed at the periphery. It seems like they want to stop me and show me who's boss? Jun Xiaoyao used his divine consciousness. The perfect triple life primordial spirit had extremely strong senses. He immediately sensed some auras lurking in the dark. The blue spider lilies weren't stupid. They knew that Jun Xiaoyao wasn't someone to be trifled with. Therefore, they directly activated their tribe's array formation. It was a maze formation that could trap a supreme being. Obviously, they wanted to make things difficult for Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao's expression was cold as he stepped in with Xianyu. In the dark, there was a group of people observing. The one leading them was a middle-aged man. He was a lesser heavenly venerable and also a blood relative of Prince Higan. Prince Higan had died in the hands of Jun Xiaoyao. Naturally, his people were unhappy. Therefore, he acted on his own and wanted to show Jun Xiaoyao who was boss. Of course, it was impossible to kill Jun Xiaoyao. Although he wanted to, the consequences were not something he could bear. Even the entire blue spider lilies couldn't bear it. Beside him, there were some prodigies from Prince Higan's bloodline. They were all waiting to watch a good show. We must avenge Prince Higan. A lady in a blue dress stared at Jun Xiaoyao, who was in the maze formation. She was Prince Higan's childhood sweetheart. However, what shocked everyone present was that Jun Xiaoyao was able to enter the matrix as if he had entered a place where there was no one around. Any maze formation was useless in front of the perfect triple life primordial spirit. Jun Xiaoyao's power of primordial spirit flowed freely. Any illusion formation was useless. In the next instant, Jun Xiaoyao took a step forward and disappeared. What's going on? The middle-aged man didn't react. Rumble! The void above them suddenly cracked open. A white-robed figure stepped out and slammed his palm toward the middle-aged man. How dare you! The middle-aged man was stunned and then shouted angrily. He was a lesser heavenly venerable. How dare Jun Xiaoyao attack him? Chapter 1049. The gap between the 7 realms of supreme venerables was huge, and it was an insurmountable gap. Perhaps in the 9th level of the Sage realm, some peerless prodigies could cross realms to battle. But in the 7th level of the supreme venerables, it was almost impossible. Even some peerless prodigies could not do it. Unless it was a monstrous existence at the level of an outlier. But how many of such existences were there? Now, seeing Jun Xiaoyao directly attacking him, even the middle-aged man was stunned. Then, flames of anger appeared in his eyes. Facing Jun Xiaoyao's palm pressing down, the middle-aged man urged his divine power. The power of laws surged, gushing out like a vast ocean. Lesser heavenly venerables already had a deep understanding of the power of laws, and they could use the power of laws to execute all kinds of shocking technique. In their hands, laws were like weapons that were casually pieced together, easy to use. Logically speaking, Supreme's understanding of laws was absolutely inferior to lesser heavenly venerables. But Jun Xiaoyao was an anomaly. He augmented his physical body with the power of laws, and every cell seemed to be vibrating, erupting with unprecedented power. Augmentation with the power of chaos. Augmentation with the God-fiend's strength divine ability. In addition, his own realm had already reached lesser perfection supreme venerables. It could be said that in Jun Xiaoyao's eyes, a lesser heavenly venerables was no longer an insurmountable mountain. Boom! The power of laws collided together, and the chaotic aura spread out like a tide, and the void trembled. Even the array was affected, and much of it was destroyed. After the attack, Jun Xiaoyao's figure did not move at all. That middle-aged man, however, staggered back many steps. Every time he took a step back, a pitch-black crater would appear in the void. How is it possible? Uncle was beaten back? The prodigies of Prince Bayan's lineage, including his childhood sweetheart, the blue-dressed woman, were all shocked. Logically speaking, the grudges of the younger generation should be settled by the younger generation themselves. But they also knew how powerful Jun Xiaoyao was, so they did not overestimate their abilities and let the middle-aged man take the lead. Logically speaking, a lesser heavenly venerate powerhouse was more than enough to suppress a supreme. But now, what did they see? Instead, the one being suppressed was the middle-aged man. This meant that Jun Xiaoyao's current opponents were no longer limited to the younger generation or the dormant seedlings. He could already begin to compete with those of the older generation, and even the experts of the older generation. A physical body that has surpassed that of a supreme being. Feeling every inch of his bones creaking under the pressure, the middle-aged man was greatly alarmed. Not to mention Jun Xiaoyao's realm. His physical body had already far surpassed the shackles of a supreme being. Even his physical body as a lesser heavenly venerate was definitely inferior to Jun Xiaoyao's. I can't fight with my physical body. The middle-aged man's expression turned serious. Originally, suppressing a supreme being should have been a very simple task for him. However, he did not expect that one's realm and combat strength were not completely equal. Light of the other shore. The middle-aged man unleashed the blue hurricane lily's grand divine ability. With the backing of the Permitha Emperor clan, the blue Permitha flower's divine abilities were no small matter. In the void, the power of laws gathered, and an incomparably bright blue brilliance appeared. It turned into a sea of blue Permitha flowers. The bright blue brilliance floated in the sea of flowers and condensed, turning into a sea of light that could annihilate everything. The light of the other shore was said to be able to cross to the other shore if it shone on one. In other words, one would die. Jun Xiaoyao's expression did not change at all. He took a step forward, and the chaotic aura behind him exploded, as if opening up a new world. In the hazy chaos, there was a blurry shadow of a primordial god, splitting the chaos and holding up the sky. Chaos body, chaos splitting heaven. The light of the other shore shone over, but it was split apart by the god's shadow. Jun Xiaoyao's body shook, and the supreme being divine blood in his body boiled like a dragon. An incomparably bright brilliance appeared in each of his hands. They were the first and second divine abilities of the former supreme being bone, the light of tribulation and the light of reincarnation. Jun Xiaoyao took a step forward and crushed over. The brilliance that shot out was not inferior to the light of the other shore at all. In terms of divine abilities, Jun Xiaoyao was not weak. Damn it! The middle-aged man's expression began to turn ugly. Especially the woman in the blue dress and the others, who were stunned. A lesser heavenly venerable was actually suppressed by a supreme being. If they had not seen it with their own eyes, they would never have believed it. Landai, you said that there must be something fishy about Prince Nirvana being killed by the Chaos Body. Now it seems like the Chaos Body didn't need to expend much effort to kill Prince Nirvana. A prodigy said in a daze. Landai, who was the woman in the blue dress, was also extremely pale. She and Prince Nirvana were childhood sweethearts. Previously, when Prince Nirvana was killed by Jun Xiaoyao, she had always thought that there must be something fishy about it. That was because she had absolute confidence in Prince Nirvana's strength. But the current scene was undoubtedly a slap to her face. Even a lesser heavenly venerable was no match for Jun Xiaoyao. Prince Nirvana was nothing. On the other side, the middle-aged man's expression was solemn. He attacked again, but this time, he used the power of his primordial spirit. In an instant, Jun Xiaoyao seemed to have been pulled into a strange soul space. The surrounding blue hurricane lilies undulated like a vast ocean. In the middle, the middle-aged man's primordial spirit appeared and spoke with a loud voice. The true essence of the Nirvana lineage is the Tao of the soul. Bloom the hurricane lilies, and the soul will go to hell. The middle-aged man used his trump card, the secret soul technique. However, Jun Xiaoyao's lips curled into a faint sneer. If it was before, Jun Xiaoyao would indeed be in some trouble, because his physical body was indeed much stronger than the Tao of the primordial spirit. But now Jun Xiaoyao had obtained the soul book. His Tao of the primordial spirit had completely caught up and was no weaker than his physical body cultivation. Rumble! Jun Xiaoyao summoned his primordial spirit of 3 lives as well. In the void, 3 Tao flowers appeared. On each Tao flower, there was a primordial spirit sitting cross-legged. They all had a transcendent aura. How is this possible? 3 primordial spirits. The middle-aged man's primordial spirit was extremely shocked. There was only one primordial spirit, unless it was a special primordial spirit. Could it be the 3 primordial spirits? The middle-aged man's expression changed instantly. He thought of this heaven-defying primordial spirit. It was definitely a top-grade primordial spirit. It could manifest the past, present, and future. If it was cultivated to a truly supreme level, the past primordial spirit was hidden in the past. The future primordial spirit was hidden in the future. Even if the primordial spirit was destroyed now, it would be safe and sound. It could manifest from the past and future. From this, it could be seen how heaven-defying the 3 primordial spirits were. And now, the 3 primordial spirits had all attacked. The past primordial spirit used the secret soul technique, the reincarnation tribulation. Now, the primordial spirit manifested the Vairocana Dharma idol and suppressed. As for the future primordial spirit, although it didn't have a compatible soul divine ability for the time being, however, it carried the ethereal aura of the future, and countless fragments of time danced in the air as it pressed down with its palm. The power of the primordial spirit was vast. The 3 primordial spirits crushed down together. Boom! Almost instantly, the middle-aged man's soul ultimate move was broken. The blue sea of hurricane lilies was instantly torn apart. Even more than half of the middle-aged man's primordial spirit collapsed. In the void, the middle-aged man let out a miserable howl. The bone between his eyebrows and forehead cracked, and blood flowed out. Uncle! Lan Dai and the others were pale as they cried out involuntarily. A lesser heavenly venerable expert had been defeated by Jun Xiaoyao. Chapter 1050. In the air, the lesser heavenly venerable was pushed back thousands of feet. His forehead was cracked, and blood flowed out. This meant that his essence soul had been severely injured. If his cultivation level wasn't slightly higher, if they were at the same cultivation level, his essence soul would undoubtedly be wiped out by Jun Xiaoyao's third life essence soul. The middle-aged man was terrified. He didn't expect Jun Xiaoyao to not only have a heaven-defying physical body, but his essence soul was also so terrifying. He could understand that the chaotic body was powerful. However, the essence soul was the extremely rare third life essence soul. This was something that the middle-aged man never expected. Those who block my path will pay the price. Jun Xiaoyao's expression was as cold as a god as he charged toward the middle-aged man again. The middle-aged man's essence soul was severely injured, and his physical body was no match for Jun Xiaoyao's. His only law divine power was Jun Xiaoyao's, and he wasn't any weaker than a lesser heavenly venerable like him. Therefore, he had no intention to fight and quickly retreated. Uncle! Lan Dai and the other prodigies screamed, unable to believe what they were seeing. A lesser heavenly venerable was running away like a dog in front of a prime. Who would dare to believe this? Jun Xiaoyao glanced at Lan Dai and the others from the corner of his eye. He casually waved his hand. The monstrous chaotic aura flooded over like a huge wave. Lan Dai and the others didn't even have time to scream before they were drowned by the chaotic aura. Their physical bodies and essence souls were crushed into dust in the chaotic aura. The prodigies of Prince Higgins' bloodline were instantly wiped out. The middle-aged man's face twisted when he saw this, and there was a hint of regret in his eyes. If he had known this would happen, he wouldn't have acted rashly and come to take revenge. After all, most of the blue hurricane lilies didn't want to become enemies with Jun Xiaoyao. Jun Xiaoyao's expression was indifferent. The paragon divine blood in his body boiled, increasing his strength by several times. He directly took out the Zenith Heaven Sword Embryo and used one of the 5 divine arts, the Heaven Slashing Art. The boundless golden sword light tore through the void and slashed toward the middle-aged man. Jun Xiaoyao's other hand grabbed toward the void again. The 4th seal of the Forbidden Immortal Seal, Forbidden Space, was unleashed. With Jun Xiaoyao's current strength, there was no need for him to set up anything in advance to cast the 4th seal. It directly sealed the void in front of him. Although this move might only be able to trap a lesser Empyrean for a moment. But in a battle between 7th-level Supremes, even an instant was enough to determine the victor. At this moment, a faintly discernible female voice sounded. "Young Master Xiaoyao, please stop for now." In the distant sky, spider lilies bloomed one after another. However, it wasn't blue in color. Instead, it was a scarlet-red spider lily. That was the real Nirvana tribe. Amidst the sea of red spider lilies, a beautiful and dreamy figure appeared. Her skin was sparkling and translucent like fine jade. Her eyes were intelligent and brilliant. Dressed in a white muslin dress, she looked ethereal and agile, like an immortal banished from the moon. He had an aloof and detached temperament. It was easy to imagine the dreamy scene of a beautiful woman in the sea of Paramitha flowers treading on the rain of flowers. However, Jun Xiaoyao's expression did not change at all. He was even more unaffected. He still slashed down with his sword, splitting the middle-aged man's body apart. Then, the Zenith Heaven Sword Embryo swept over like lightning, piercing through the man's head and destroying his primordial spirit. That woman was clearly stunned. She didn't expect Jun Xiaoyao to not care about her at all and ignore her words. A lesser Empyrean had fallen. He died in the hands of Jun Xiaoyao. However, Jun Xiaoyao's face did not have the slightest hint of smugness. Among lesser Empyreans, this man was only a mediocre person. If he was really a lesser Empyrean with a solid foundation, Jun Xiaoyao might not have been able to kill him so cleanly. After dealing with these obstructors, Jun Xiaoyao looked at the woman in the sea of flowers. She was very beautiful and stunning. Jun Xiaoyao's expression was indifferent as he said perfunctorily, "Sorry, I couldn't hold back." "Like hell I'll believe you." The woman wanted to say so, but on the surface, she still revealed a dreamy smile. "I'm the heavenly daughter of the Nirvana tribe, Meng Nu." Jun Xiaoyao nodded slightly. His guess of her identity was not bad. Nirvana heavenly daughter Meng Nu was also very famous in the foreign domain. She was also one of the 7 minor emperors. She had not appeared before this. Among the 7 minor emperors, Meng Nu was definitely an existence with a deep foundation. The Nirvana tribe was originally an extremely mysterious emperor tribe. "Miss Meng, could it be that you want to take revenge for them?" Jun Xiaoyao asked. "Sigh, they are also blind. Our Nirvana tribe is not willing to be enemies with young master." Meng Nu smiled slightly. She was extremely beautiful. With Jun Xiaoyao's current background, even the immortal emperor tribes had to think twice. If they could not offend him, they would definitely not offend him. At this time, Xian Yu also came to Jun Xiaoyao's side. "You have a good opportunity to meet such a good person like young master." Meng Nu glanced at Xian Yu and said, "If it were not for Jun Xiaoyao, Xian Yu would not have been able to escape death." At that time, Meng Nu was not born. Hence, she could not stop the prince of the Nirvana tribe from killing Xian Yu. "Do you welcome me to the Nirvana tribe as a guest?" Jun Xiaoyao smiled and said, "Of course. I'm here to welcome young master." Meng Nu smiled and said, "Oh." Jun Xiaoyao's eyes flickered. "Perhaps young master has a special fate with our Nirvana tribe." Meng Nu said meaningfully. This made Jun Xiaoyao even more guessed that there was a secret in the Nirvana tribe. Then, Meng Nuer brought Jun Xiaoyao and Xian Yu to the Nirvana tribe's territory. Along the way, no one came to stop them. As for the blue-red spider lilies, they could only suffer in silence. Not long after, Jun Xiaoyao arrived at the Nirvana tribe's territory. Looking around, there were patches of red spider lilies in full bloom. All kinds of palaces and buildings were suspended in the void. There were very few creatures coming and going, but when they saw Jun Xiaoyao, they all cast curious gazes. Jun Xiaoyao noticed that some of them were also wearing ghost masks on their faces. "This mask," Jun Xiaoyao said. "This ghost mask is also a totem of our tribe. It's a kind of respect and reverence for the Supreme," Meng Nuer explained. "Supreme?" Jun Xiaoyao was curious. "It's the origin of our Nirvana tribe. It's also the first ancestor that we sincerely worship. It's the pillar of our tribe and our spiritual belief." When mentioning the Supreme, Meng Nuer's face was also filled with sacred devotion and respect. "May I know the name of the Supreme?" Jun Xiaoyao was curious. He vaguely felt that the ghost mask woman's karma should be related to the Supreme of the Nirvana tribe. "The Supreme of our tribe is called the Mother of Red Spider Lilies," Meng Nuer said. "The Mother of Red Spider Lilies," Jun Xiaoyao muttered to himself. From the name, one could tell that it should be a big shot. After all, the Nirvana tribe in the foreign realm was mysterious and prosperous. It seemed to be a level higher than the ordinary immortal emperor tribes. It was equivalent to the He-Tian tribe in its heyday. It could be said that it was the strongest tribe below the ultimate emperor tribe. "I wonder if I have the honor of meeting the Mother of Red Spider Lilies?" Jun Xiaoyao was interested. "You want to meet the Supreme?" Meng Nuer was a little surprised.